Welcome to another special episode of Missin Curfew. Up, dog. You got us dialed in here. We dialed in at the Waste Management Open
This
here.
is a special edition. We're here for the second stop on the Fella Tour. We have some incredible guests lined up. We got some golfers, some world-class golfers.
We got some sticks. We got some guys that could take you down the golf course, Upshall.
I know. And guys with a lot better tans than we have.
I know. Is our
with
tan
a lot
not
better,
good?
probably bank accounts, too.
Well, the way we're spending money, yeah, they got fucking more than us. But
and you know what? We're also bringing a special edition with an old friend of ours and an old teammate, a guy that battled his ass off in the hockey arena and now is actually taking really good care of us here at the Waste Management Open. So we're excited to have on, our boy Darcy Hordichuk.
We got Darcy Hordichuk coming at you. We got Mike Commodore, who's going to be our last guest, and he's going to be bringing the heat, I'm sure. And then we're lucky enough to have our boy Steele.
Brendan Steele.
I mean, you won't find a nicer guy in golf than Steele. And then you got us Keegan Bradley, who we got to play around the golf with back in my short stint with Florida, who you've been buddies with for a long time.
And Max Homa.
And Max Homa, the man, the myth, the legend, Max Homa, the Twitter king of the golf tour. So we're happy to be here. Happy DraftKings. We got a setup between 10 and 17 at a sportsbook. It's unbelievable. Hall passes dialed us in again. This is going to be a great day.
Well, big fella, we're sitting here at Waste Management Open. It's
nice
early.
And early.
It's early. I'm a little chilly. I had my coffee. I had no Baileys yet. So, we're proud to welcome in a longtime friend of ours since we both played in Florida for a cup of coffee, Keegan Bradley.
Thanks, boys.
Keegs, thanks for coming on Missin Curfew. We appreciate you taking the time out of your morning. Have you hit any nuggets yet?
I haven't. I just got here. I get to Pro-Am this afternoon. I'm playing with Aaron Rodgers.
You are?
So I'm kind of. I love when I play Pro-Ams and I get to play with other athletes, especially football. It's so much fun for me because I'll be ripping them with questions.
Do you think is this like sleeping with the enemy, being a Boston boy? Like,
hey,
Green
listen,
Bay Packer?
Maybe he'll come to the Patriots.
Yeah, right?
I doubt that.
Is there some sort of backstory to why they have you playing with them? Or?
I don't know. Someone texted me and goes, "You're playing with Rodgers," and I was like, wow, that's going to be fun. And then I looked it up, and it's the CEO of Waste Management, so I got to be on my game this afternoon.
Yeah. Wow. No wonder you had to come early.
Yeah.
Hey? Then you're like, I got to work with the coach after this. And
that's right.
That's
great.
Too, because I'm not saying I have the best golf swing ever, but I went over there to watch some of the Pro-Ams warming up. It can get dicey out there.
It can get dicey. You always got to stay behind the Pro-Am guys because they can hit you.
Yeah.
Obi was just over on the range. He got here, and he's like, let's go watch a couple guys. And he said CC Sabathia was just slashing it.
Yeah, he was getting a little steep on the wedges, Keegan.
Yeah.
A little steep on the wedges.
Well, it's amazing because they come out, and there's people out here. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine how nervous they'd be. They could hit somebody in the head.
Yeah, and then I saw Phelpsy out there. He topped a couple, but he had a big gallery around him, but he's a big golfer.
Keegs, this is you've been around the tour for 10 years. A lot of success, Ryder Cups, PGA Championship. What's this like, this tournament here, to the tour and to the players? Do they like coming here? Is this one that you got to check off?
Yeah, I mean, when growing up, you're as a rookie, this is one you're excited to play in. It's not for everybody. Some guys come 1 year and that's it. But for me, and for a lot of guys, you know what you're getting coming in. And it's great for 1 week, and then when you're pulling out of here, you're like, all right, I can take a break. Yeah. So
I feel like one bad performance here kind of ruins your whole experience moving forward, because if the fans remember that you kind of you had a bad shot on 16 and they got after you and you didn't know how to handle yourself, like they'd be on you every time you come back.
Totally. Well, it's actually, for me, for most players, it's not bad in there, but when you get to the outer edges of the course where maybe some of the people have trickled out after 50 drinks, and that's where they get you. And it's like
some guys laying in the bunker.
Yeah.
Starfish.
Yeah, you suck. They're like screaming at you. We're not used to that stuff out here.
Do you think if you transported this into Boston with Boston fans, do you think it would be crazier, like the way the Boston fans get on you?
Yeah, I think it would. Every time I go in there, I kind of think this is kind of what it would be like to play in Fenway Park. This is my version of Fenway.
Of course.
So I really enjoy it. And what's great about that hole is it's not super hard. It is because of the atmosphere, but it's not like 17 at Sawgrass where you could make a million on this hole. It's normally a wedge or a 9-iron, sometimes less. So it's a perfect hole for what they got going in there.
So, Keegs, you're a veteran now, but your first couple tourneys here when you were young, rookie on the tour. Did you miss curfew your first couple weeks here in this tournament? And be like, all right, Keegs, I got to tighten up a little bit if I'm going to play in the waste management here.
So my rookie year, we didn't start in the fall like they do now. So this would have been like my third or fourth event. So this was an eye opener. Yeah. This was like, holy cow, this is bigger than anything I've ever played in. This is, if you came out in a day like today on a Wednesday and saw this many people, this is like a regular tour event day, Yeah. So, and then you come out on, the weekend and there's 200,000 people here maybe, so it's really, really cool. And every year it grows. Like there's a whole new grandstand by the 12th hole this year, a stadium-looking thing that, who knows what's going to look like in 20 years. It's crazy.
Right?
Do you have any moments here that you look back on?
Yeah, so probably 7-8 years ago, I was in the final group here on Saturday, and Saturday's the crazy day, and I was playing with Phil, and Phil's, this is his spot. Yeah. So we get to 16. He ended up winning that year. We won by $1 million. And he gets on the tee, and it's a famous shot for him, and he gets up and he hits it to like this. And it looks like from our angle it's going to go in. It's going straight at the hole. And the crowd went so bananas, and they could not control the crowd. Like, it was gone. They're like trying to like, quiet please, and we're like, me and Bill Haas have to hit, and the people are going crazy, screaming. I get up to the green, and I'm kneeling down to read a putt, and somebody threw a banana, and it went like, it grazed my head and smashed on the green and like exploded. It was wild. I mean, anytime you're out here with Phil, but especially in that,
totally the banana peel trick. He'll get you heads up.
Doug, you played around with Phil, right? Dude,
I got to play around with Phil and our boy Steele, and JJ Dunham, who's actually playing here today, boss from Discovery. But
how much did he take from you?
He took a bit. He took a chunk.
It was worth it.
By a chunk, it was about 25 Benjamins. But it was after like a 3-week bender with you and Lupul in London.
Are you guys ever not on a 3-week bender?
Well, I can control him now.
We slowed down.
Keegan, I can control him now. And you pick your spots, and I was always good at picking my spots, especially on the road. But, Steeler called me, and he's like, basically, we're going to Shady Canyon tomorrow morning. I got around with Phil and Phil's buddy, who's probably your handicap. Can you play? I'm like, Steeler, I have not literally picked up a club. This is like a Lupul story because Loop's never, he goes to New York for 3 months, comes back and wants to golf 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to show up. I'm going to give you my best. Right. I'm going to battle hard. You got a guy that's going to go in the trenches.
Hey, you're good. You're a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt good. Felt on the front, and then Phil on number 2, which is a par 3. We were playing from the tips. It was like 195, and he hit like a 6-iron into the wind to like 1.5 feet, and I'm like thinking, oh fuck! Okay, here we go.
My head here.
And then he started to use the rule book on us. You know how Phil can use the rule book, right? Yeah. It's like a thing Phil does where he'll blow one out, and all of a sudden, like the ball is in a spot where he just pulls the rule book out on you, and he starts naming rules, and you're like, fuck, okay, just you get a free drop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Steeler would always tell me about the old Phil Mickelson.
But Phil was good to you and Steeler, right? When you guys were young, I remember Steeler when I first met Steeler, golfing with him, and how much you guys would practice with Phil and travel sometimes with him. That's just pretty cool.
What was so surprising for me coming out on the tour was how eager the veterans and guys like Phil, like Hall of Famers, wanted to help the younger group of guys. And it's so strange to, like, when you guys came into the NHL, to meet your idols and then maybe become friends with them. Yeah. And Phil was a guy that I was able to talk to and ask advice with, and he would give me first-hand advice on stuff like that. And I found myself in some positions where I couldn't believe I'm having this conversation with Phil Mickelson and how valuable it was for me.
Yeah, that's kind of like me when I played with Matt Sundin in Vancouver. We signed Matt. I grew up a Leafs fan, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting in the dressing room and driving to the airport with Matt Sundin and talking about the the second period of our game and stuff. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Speaking of idols, let's switch gears, different sport, but you play golf in Southern Florida at the Grove 23, a place that I've been to. Beautiful spot that our boy Michael Jordan, not our boy, but your boy.
He'll be your boy someday. He'll be your boy someday.
He's taking another little bit of cash off me, which we don't have to talk about. But you talk about idols. What's it like to get to know Michael? You had him at the Ryder Cup. He's always around Team America, Team USA. Just the presence he has, what it's like to kind of get to know him, how driven he is.
Yeah, that's probably the most surreal one.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing in my life is getting out here, meeting my idols, just saying hi to them, and then the next step is becoming, friends with these people. And what I've I've never met anybody in my life like MJ.
No, me
He's
neither.
the nicest, most genuine. He plays with my buddies that I grew up with just as much as he plays with me. He's just he's the most normal, down-to-earth guy you've ever met, but then you realize he's Michael Jordan.
He is, yeah.
And I can't imagine the stuff that he goes through in terms of, his celebrity status, and he handles it with such great. Like, it's unbelievable to watch him interact with people, and he's the greatest, one of the greatest humans I've ever met in my life.
I got to be honest. I think I've watched that Last Dance 5 or 6 times.
It's
so good. Like,
so
just to hear him talk and how much of a competitor he was. And I love at the Grove, it's true that he's made the fairways wider where he hits and stuff like that.
Yeah,
hey, if you're MJ,
he is tough.
I'm MJ, I'm doing the same thing.
If you built your own course, wouldn't you do that?
100%. Especially I'm the greatest athlete in the whole world. Yeah, 100% I would. So.
Yeah, Obi, if you hit it over like 300, you're getting into the fescues.
I might be able to play there, boys. I'm a 280 buncher.
Then you and MJ, you'd have
smoke a stogie with them.
You'd have to have a good short game.
Yeah,
because MJ's short game is
so good.
It's impeccable.
He's as good of a putter as he could be. His stats, I bet you, would be similar to guys out here. Yeah, it's very, very good.
Keegs, I remember one thing when I think you chirped about taking some money off him or something on Twitter, and then he come back. He's like, "I'm not wearing Air Keegans or something."
Yeah, there's you never. He's the quickest guy ever. So like. You never want to really cross him because he'll just come back at you with so much worse. and then you're thinking about it later at night like, oh, man, that was tough. But, yeah he's quick, man.
Keeks, I wanted to ask you, like, you had so much success early on tour and then, I don't know if struggle, but then you got back in the winner's circle. How hard was it to have the success early and then struggle? For me in my career, I had struggled early and then finally made it to the league. Like, how hard was that for you on tour?
It was tough because, it happened so fast. My first couple years, it was like a whirlwind. I didn't even realize really what I was doing probably until the last couple years.
Yeah.
And it's tough because you're watching Ryder Cups, President's Cups, or majors, and you're not there, and it's difficult. But what all the Ernie Els, he flew me home on his plane one time, and we both missed the cut at Byron Nelson, and he said. He spoke to me about this dip that he had in his career, and Phil said this. All these guys said, "You got to enjoy this time, enjoy the battle back to where you want to be, because you'll enjoy that actually more than winning."
Yeah.
And so it was unbelievable advice. And then I asked him, I go, "So what was your dip? What year was?" He goes, "Well, I forget what year it was." He goes, "I went from first in the world to seventh in the world." I was like, "Oh,
you're like, way to hang in there, Ernie. Way to hang in there, bud."
Yeah.
Boys, Ernie Els, I think we could all say this. Ernie Els was such a great guy to watch on tour, and just the way he carried himself, and then he just always looked so professional.
He is. He's big too. Like he feel like he just bonk you on the top of the head if he wanted to.
There's a story about Ernie coming back from a trip, from. Is it the British Open or something?
Where he headbutted someone on his plane or something? Yeah. The plane I don't know if we're supposed to tell that.
Can we tell that? I don't know if we're supposed to. I don't actually know the complete story. I'm just thinking there's a beauty story of Ernie Els.
Somebody told us one day golf, and I can't remember. I think I was with you when we heard the story.
Maybe
but I don't know who it was. I don't know.
Keegs, we're here at DraftKings. DraftKings obviously set up this beautiful tent here between 17 and 10. Boston company, sports betting company. You got any picks for the Super Bowl? What are your thoughts?
When I look at Joe Burrow and these Bengals, I think there's a lot of Brady vibes and 01 Patriot
so do
vibes.
I, dude. So do I.
I want to bet. I want to bet them. I also got my eye on this Sony Michel over 16 yards that I like.
Oh, wow.
It's a deep
look
tracks
at that, folks.
one.
Yeah, look at that.
I got my eye on that.
I'm going to write that down.
I mean, he was getting the majority of the carries until Akers came back, but 16 yards is fun. You get that one carry.
Yeah.
He was a beast in the second half because I had him on my fantasy team all year in the first half, and then I let him go, and then all of a sudden, Sony Michel was killing it for the Rams down the stretch.
Yeah, and I think they're going to – if the Rams get up, I think they'll give him the ball because Akers been fumbling a little bit. So, I don't know. I got my eye on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we live in the LA kind of area, Newport Beach, and it's kind of Ram country. People are like fired up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening to Moneyline Rams, everything, and I'm like, man, Joe Burrow to me is just he's
ice cold, man.
He's kind of like
It feels like that year that Brady won.
Everyone thinks like, oh, they shouldn't be here. They're a couple years out, and then Brady they won 6. Like it's got that sort of vibe to it. And Burrow even seems more comfortable than Brady did.
I know, because he doesn't get hit like Brady did when Brady was younger. He doesn't have to worry about these guys trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brady Keeks, did you watch The Man in the Arena?
I didn't.
Okay.
It's I'm like a 12-year-old still with my for the Patriots. I'm going to watch it, but I I don't know. I can't get myself to do it.
Okay,
I'm so bummed out.
One you might like before that, then I just watched it. They do the tuck rule with Woodson.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. They do that from Brady's home in Tampa, which you talk about shacks. What a shack. And they go through the tuck rule play.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great to see them go back, and Woodson's not giving an inch. He's like, that's a fumble.
I mean,
That's
of course it's a fumble.
I know, but the refs
changed
still
the
to
course
this
of
day is
history.
like, but with that rule,
Did.
they're like, it was the tuck rule.
Well,
So maybe you can watch that one first to get you
right.
warmed up.
And then you watch like the stuff that happens to Brady. You watch that Rams game where the ball is snapping the ball over Stafford's head. It's like unbelievable things that happen to him.
He's just got it.
Yeah,
He's got it all, doesn't he? The hair,
he's got it all.
wife,
So-
the kids, the houses.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
He's
I
got
think
it
his
all.
hair's getting better each time I see him,
it's
and his
just
skin's
too
getting
much.
better each time I see him, too. He's going up dog style in the boys. Hey, Keegs, I want to talk to you about Boston some more. We did a fun thing about wind songs, and my favorite wind song right now is "Dirty Water." Man, I don't know what the Bruins have been on a winner. I don't when I hear that song, it feels good. That's a great tune, isn't it?
You know what I love about when Thordy played for the Bruins, he's a friend of all of ours.
Yeah.
And I was so into him. And then when he kind of left, and I don't live in Boston, it's so hard to follow these every week. If Patriots easy; they play once a week.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing they have like the same guys on that team that they did with Thordy.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to watch them. I just hope I saw that Tuca might be done.
I know.
That was such a cool story.
Yeah,
that was
that
fun for
news,
that.
that news
came
kind
out-
of surprised me.
Me too.
Yeah.
A guy, he's worked hard. He came back from an injury. I thought it was just what Boston needed to kind of they're in it again.
Yeah.
They could win again.
And
you
but
But
he
you
was
know how
playing
hard
for
it is to
nothing.
jump in. It's hard to jump. Like I did it 2 years in Europe. Obviously, I'm a bigger guy, but even up he did in Switzerland, like it's hard to jump in halfway through, especially at the NHL level. I don't care what position or how good you are. So maybe that. But yeah, I was bummed too because I was happy to see him back.
Yeah, well, it sort of had like a cool vibe to it. Like, okay, we're make a little run with Tuca, last run with those group of guys. But I love Tuca. I love that whole team and all that.
You talk about Florida. Have you been to any Panthers games? Because they got an absolute star-studded team.
Yeah, they're so good. And
First period
they're
overs.
selling out the arena.
I know.
I remember a story you told. Hopefully I can tell it.
Oh, you can tell it better, Bo.
Missin Curfew, baby.
Back in the day when Dale Talon was the GM, there was I remember going to games. There was 2,000 people.
No, I know.
And you said you used to be able to hear him yelling from you from the tunnel, yelling at you.
Get the puck out.
What does Upshall doing on the ice?
I just thought that story was in the NHL, and you could hear the general manager screaming at you.
And not only that, the fans and they can hear what you're saying. So
Right.
it's like fucking.
I loved going to those games. It was so fun to go to those games and not worry about the crowds, and you could hear you guys yelling at each other. It's great.
Yeah, so Thordy came to us, my third year. And at that point, like my first year, we had made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I talked to Jonathan Huberdeau about this week. But the vibe that place gets, they need like something to cheer for.
Mm-hmm.
And the playoffs is like something they've never like, been in that sort of situation. Like the kids have never came to a game and witnessed like what playoff energy is like. And so that's just, South Florida needs that. I think, finally the Panthers are kind of where.
Yeah, and
where
it's
they
tricky
need-
because no one's from Florida, right?
Totally.
So you grow up in Boston. Your grandmother's a Bruins fan.
Yeah,
And you
Or
have no choice.
There's a lot of Montreal fans
Yeah.
there, and Ontario people. It's retirement haven or professional golfer haven.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Panthers are where Tampa Bay. Just unfortunately, Tampa Bay has been so damn good in the last
and they're so
10
good.
years that the Panthers just. It's hard to come out of that.
But Tampa seems to be putting some really good teams together in all sports lately.
Yeah.
Football, baseball,
They're
hockey.
like the Boston of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
2020.
They're Tampa Bay now, right? That's what
Tampa
they call
Bay.
them. Should we talk about management, Sean Thornton, now, or what? Hey, big Thornty.
Yeah, let's throw Thornty a bone.
Hey, Thornty, he's all management on us now, Keegs. Hey, we see him down at the All-Star game. He's got the suit on. He looks like the UFC light heavyweight champ of the world, too.
Does.
He looks like he could just squeeze my neck off. Not that he couldn't
Probably
before.
could.
Yeah. But, you guys still keep in touch,
We
obviously.
do. We play.
He's killing it.
We've played a bunch at the Grove actually the last couple months, and he comes in. He's all serious. He's different Thorty.
I know.
But he's doing good.
Yeah,
like
he's killing it.
He's
killing it.
Thorty. Anybody who meets Thorty, he's the greatest guy. Like, and he gets along with everybody. I'm happy for him that he transitioned like that so quickly from playing to in the front office or whatever he's doing. But yeah, it's weird seeing serious Thorty.
Yeah. I'm like, tell me a joke or something.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me a story.
Have an IPA and chill.
Where are we going? Let's miss curfew.
The only tournament I've ever had to withdraw from is because of Thorty.
Oh.
Really? I had to withdraw from the Green Bar. It was after one of the Bruins games. I used to flap the playoff games all the time, and we were out after they won. I think they beat the Penguins in 4 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we go out with Thorty and all my buddies, and I was just chirping at him all night, like, I'm gonna just being a total dick. And then all of a sudden, he just puts me in one of these like choke holds, and it tweaked my shoulder. And I wake up the next day, I'm like, oh God. So I always tell him, you're the only guy it's the only tournament I have to withdraw from is because of you. You put me in one of these, I'm like, dude, you got to stop or I'm gonna die right now.
Like, dude, I got tea time Thursday, man.
Yeah.
And even if I missed the cut, I would have made 25 grand.
Yeah.
So you owe me 25.
Yeah. So did you get to party with the cup when you won it and see it and all that stuff, or you got tight with it? Yeah.
It was after that, but so I told him my lifelong goal is to ride. When you win any championship in Boston, you go on the duck boats, and it's like I used to go to them growing up. So I told them, please get me on one of those duck boats. So I think it was it 12 where they lost to Chicago, or was it 13?
I want to say 13 they lost to Chicago.
So he promised me, he goes, if we win the cup, you're coming on me with the duck boats. Like, for a person that grows up in New England, this is like, they can't get any better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the games, I'm flying up, and I was at Game 6 when they were up 2-0, and they let those 2 goals in 17 seconds, so I never got the chance. So every time I see him, I tell him I'm pissed, because that would have been like I would have died. But I never got to really see the cup. I've seen it a few times, but it was after that I.
Yeah, but the one you won, the PGA, that cup's pretty nasty.
Yeah,
you must have had a good time with that. What do you get to do with that? Yeah, how long do you keep it for?
So they give you like
the Wanamaker, right?
Yeah, they give you like a replica, and
so
we flew back. Like I won the PGA, and the PGA flew me home on a private plane. I'd never been on a private plane, so I did all this media for like a day and a half, and then all of a sudden I'm on this plane, totally by myself with the trophy in the plane. I'm on this private plane. I'm like,
I should have invited some of my boys.
Yeah.
No girlfriend, nothing.
Fellas, I got a private bird here.
Just you and the bird.
So I had this like 2-hour flight of just myself, no phone, and I'm just sitting there, and I was having a few beers by myself there, and then the boys picked me up, and it was a long stretch of bringing the Wanamaker wherever I went.
Yeah.
So it was a blast.
Well deserved.
It's unbelievable. So.
Well, Keeks, we don't want to take you too much longer, but we know you got to get on the range and get ready for Aaron Rodgers.
What time are you teeing off Thursday?
12 o'clock, I think.
All right,
I got to double check.
We'll be watching you. We'll be
All right,
watching
boys.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend, pal.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Up Dog Waste Management continues here for the Missin Curfew fellas. One of my favorite teammates all time. And a man who runs this fucking tournament I'm starting to learn after a few years. Darcy Hordichuk. Hordy, always a pleasure seeing you, buddy. And thanks for giving us a little tour there of 16 and 17 and pretty everything.
Yeah, I never expected to see my 2 ex-teammates at the Waste Management Pheonix Open getting interviewed by everybody here. But what a fun week, and I'm so glad you guys get to embrace and enjoy what this tournament has done for Arizona.
Thordy, bring us into the life of Darcy Hordichuk right now. Your father, retired NHL player turned
hustler,
turned entrepreneur. but just talk about this week here at the Waste Management Open. Talk about bring us into the life of the Thunderbirds and what that the tradition of the Thunderbirds and what they do for this tournament for the city.
Yeah, kind of like you guys. I didn't know much about the Thunderbirds. Didn't know exactly. I just always, when I played here for the Yotes back in the day, just knew how great of an event it was and how it was just kind of evolving. And one day I got a call that I was a Thunderbird, and I didn't know exactly what that meant. And,
what did I do wrong?
Exactly. I'm like, holy crap.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You always see these guys giving back, millions and millions of dollars for charity, and it's because of this event. And, when I got the call, I kind of talked to my wife, and when she started laughing, she's like, like a lot of the people that grew up here, that's kind of what they want to achieve, is to be part of a network where it's 55 guys that get in that are under 40 years old. You don't know how you're going to get in, but, you become, one of the better guys in your trade, whatever you do. And, you get to be a part of this charity and just help give money back to the kids. So it's been quite the journey. And as you guys know, when you're done with hockey, you don't really miss the game as much. You miss the camaraderie, you miss the locker room, you miss hanging out with all the boys.
You miss the paychecks.
And you miss the paychecks too. Yeah, I was going to say that.
I always like, I don't so much the game. Miss the paycheck.
Paychecks I miss.
100%. But you know what? This is, it's 55 guys that are in this group like us that are just ADD. And if you bet for 10 cents, we will fight each other and we will say this is the best way. But no egos in the group. And, when I first got in and I went to this event and you see guys like Doug Ducey there, that's part of the Thunderbirds, Sam Fox, Jack Nicklaus. Like, it's just a crazy, you kind of pinch yourself to see that you're in a group like this.
Yeah, pretty special, Hordy. I know Shane Thompson, another Thunderbird.
Yep.
I know a good friend of mine, Dodge Earnhardt. two guys, they've been around here for a little while. They've been excited to have, Missin Curfew here, but they speak highly of you. And I'm like, fuck, I play with
Don't be so surprised, Dumpy.
What's Hordy done?
He's like Hordichuk, same guy I play with in Nashville?
No, so and they describe just this event and the thought and the love and the effort that gets put into it. And year after year, there's another stadium, there's another box. We got this beautiful DraftKings box here on 17 now, where we're bringing these fans live action. But just talk about the growth of this over the since you've been a Thunderbird. The growth of this, the effort that gets put in, the support you get from everybody. Just talk about the growth of the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, one thing they've done with the group is, like I said, you got to be under 40 to get in the group. The group's been around since 1937, and every person has a role. So one year you're the chairman of the whole, and then you have an assistant. So you don't know what role you're going to get within this group, and your whole purpose is as the assistant to learn from whoever the chairman was, and just try to outdo that guy. So as you see 16,
one-upper.
It's called a one-upper, exactly.
Called a one-upper.
And it's like anything you can do, I can do better, exactly. And so you just kind of one-up, and it's like if you guys, Obi was in charge of 16 and you were his assistant, you're going to say, okay, Obi, you did white, I want to do pink. I want to do this, I want to do, so that they give us that freedom within the group to say, hey, listen, as long as it makes money for the kids, you guys order whatever you want to do and do whatever you want to do, but just remember, this tournament's not about you, it's about the kids.
Awesome.
Take me back to the start. I want to know how the initial conversation. How did you? Because I know I don't want to use the word weasel because it's not the right word. But how did you manufacture your way? Maneuver.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maneuver. How did you maneuver the first move towards the Thunderbirds?
Hey.
I want to know.
Is
that
it because
story.
I'm the first NHL guy ever, and you don't think I was a good player? If you
listen,
you're not giving me any credit. The same way I weaseled myself 13 years in the NHL. It's the same way I got in the
First of all, you always say
hard work, good guy,
good looks,
and hey, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. And you always say you weren't a good player. I say you were. And listen, I don't have many goals to show on Missin Curfew, so
now we're doing shots. We're doing shots.
They continue to show the one of where you go in and absolutely blow up Yalmerson in the playoffs, and you hit somebody in the. Would have been 3 penalties in one shift nowadays. But so listen, I know how you can forecheck and play, but so that's the same way the Thunderbirds work for you.
It was easier to get into Thunderbirds than getting Obi picked up on waivers when I had to make a call to Nashville and say, take this guy. He's a good guy. I kind of lied a little bit to Barry Trotz. They're like, listen, is this guy good or what? I'm like, oh, yeah. He maybe told the coach staff off a couple times after he sent him to fight. But guess what? Hey, that's part of the game. I'll do it. Why don't I do that? I'm the guy that
my career's really come to Hordy's working the phone for me here. It's only about my 5th year in the league. I don't have enough scratch yet to be done.
Just add sports agent
did I not get you picked up, though? Was it that phone call that got you picked up?
You helped me get picked up for
You
sure.
still owe me 3% for that. That was one of your better years. Anyway, so okay, what were we talking about? The Thunderbirds. So, yeah, you know what? You never know how you're going to get in, and it was funny how it worked. Ricky Fowler used to come out to all of our hockey games in Florida, and meet Ricky, and then all of a sudden his roommate was Morgan Hoffman, and David Booth sold Morgan Hoffman a plane and said, "Hey, listen, Morgan, Hordichuk lives 2 minutes from the golf course. Why don't you go stay at his house?" And I met Morgan, great guy. I don't know if you ever heard of the clothing line Grayson. That's his clothing line.
Yeah.
That's all I wear.
And every year Morgan would stay at my house, and one day he goes, "Listen, I'm teeing off on the 16th hole." I go, "Dude, step back from the tee-off box, get the crowd into it. Don't be the hush-hush." I go, "Let's brand you, just like I used to." So all of a sudden we're doing that. He goes, "By the way, I've got 10 buddies coming to town from Miami, coming to watch me play. Do you think I can get them on 16? I go, "For sure." I go, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to say I'm your Wilson rep, and I need all the credentials to act like I'm your Wilson rep so that I can get on 16 in case you break your golf club." So here I am, decked out with all these credentials. I get in the tournament, and I grab one of these Thunderbirds, and his name was Craig Weems. And I go, "Weems there." And I didn't know him. Didn't know one Thunderbird in the group. So I go, "Hey, listen, I got this golfer staying in my place. Do you mind if I help him get him, his family, just for one shot, watch him get on the, 16th hole?" He's like, "Dude, yeah, for sure." So he does this all, and I go, "I don't know what you do for a living, but we're gonna do business." I go, "Dude, I love your attitude." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" He's bombed. This is And all of a sudden, I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm in the asphalt business." And I go, "Asphalt?" I go, "You're the happiest guy I've ever met that's in the asphalt business." So then we kind of hit it off, and then he found out I played hockey, and then he's like, "Hey, by the way, we're doing an event for the Thunderbirds at the end of the tournament. We want to go to Nashville. You played in Nashville. Do you have any country country connections. I go, dude, I will dial you in with whatever you need. Kelly Pickler dated a roommate, my buddy, Jordan Tutu. What do you need? So I'm on the phone dialing for dollars, like, hey, Chaz Corzine. Hey, I go, Chaz, I got this group. They want to go. Can you get them to, like, Dirk's Bentley place? Can you do this? And they start laughing. He's like, yeah, whatever you want. I set this whole thing up for 100 of the Thunderbirds to go here. Next thing you know, they say, we want you to come. And I'm like, I'm not going with 100 guys. I don't even know you guys. Like, and all they were trying to do was just trying to figure me out, see what I was, and seeing that I love to give back to charity. And they said, you're perfect for the group, and you're in. So that's all of a sudden 7 years later, and it's been the time of my life. And every day we wake up, I talk to different people and say, hey, what money do you need for your kids, for a hockey team, soccer team, baseball team? And I give them the Scottsdale zip code, and they're like, well, we're more interested in other zip codes. But but anyways.
Can you talk about the outfits?
Yeah, so
These are nice here.
Yeah, you got the Canada pants on.
Break out the monkey bum.
A little hockey bum there. So today's Crazy Pat Day, so every year I represent Canada because there's only 2 Canadians ever in the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And so I'm one of the Canadians, and I'm proud to be a Canadian, even though right
proud
now
to
I'm
be
not
Canadian.
proud of Trudeau and what he's done to the country.
Of course,
No
but
kidding.
we're proud to be Canadian.
Yeah,
That's for damn
yeah.
sure.
We put out a podcast a couple weeks ago about what you just said, and we were taking some heat in the DMs next day. I woke up hungover on a Saturday. I'm like, Uppy, tread water in your Twitter right now. It's coming at small
but
angles.
we stood proud with our fellow Canadians.
You have to.
out
That's
there.
our
Truckers,
roots.
go Truckers.
Yeah, exactly, Truckers. I'm going to give my $5 donation after we get off this podcast right now for those guys.
Let me ask you, we were just in Vegas for 3 nights, and obviously I can't bounce back like I used to. I know this is a long week for you. How does it take you to recover after this? How long does it take the body?
You know what?
I love watching you buzz around here. I love it. Every year
well,
I come, you're buzzing. You're knowing everyone. You're my VIP buddies. I love it. I love it.
Well, last night we went to bed at 3:45. We got up at 7:30 this morning, take care of our VIPs.
See, that's crazy. I'll be good at that.
You know what's pretty good is, like you guys, it's all the little tricks. We have our doctors on the holes that give us IVs and kind of just. I won't even take an Advil, dude. I can't believe I haven't smoked weed to this day. I haven't even touched a drug in my life, man. Everybody's like, dude, are you on fucking? What are you on? Like, what are you on? I'm like, I'm just happy to be here.
If I had
boys.
to guess one, I would say
It's the forehead. You protected your career with that forehead.
Hey,
Horton.
dude, that made me a living, man. That forehead broke more hands, I'll tell you that much.
Let's talk about a little bit about your hockey days. You still watching hockey?
You know what? I don't watch as much as I should have,
Yeah.
and even when I played, I wasn't really, a guy that watched a lot, which I wish I did more of. I'd still be playing, but maybe not. But
the game's changed.
Yeah, the game's definitely changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble now, Horts. We'd be in trouble, buddy.
I got to know the ownership group pretty well with the Coyotes, so I, have access to the owner suite. So any clients, that I want to network with, I'll bring them out there and, try to help out the Yotes and do what I can with Shane Doan. He's always trying to get the alumni back out there. So they're really, with Armstrong coming in, it's St. Louis's model where alumni is important, and let's bring as many guys around and let's try to keep the fans interested. So.
No, that's well said. You just need the private plane to get from here out to Glendale to watch the game.
So you've obviously heard the news, right? They're going to play in Tempe next year with 5,000 fans.
I did.
What's your thoughts on that as an ex-Coyote?
I think it's the greatest thing that ever happened. They get to sell the place out now.
I think so, too.
You charge more for the tickets, it's a wash. So why do you need a big arena like that? And it's going to put pressure on the city council to say, hey, we're for real. We want to stay here. Help us out. And if not, this is a boo-boo on you guys. So. Yeah. This ownership has a lot of money. This group is great, and they want to have a sports team here. And they're the real deal. They got a lot of money. They're in the casino business, which obviously, how lucrative that is. DraftKings, you guys, obviously coming on board sponsoring this, probably best decision they ever made of their life. But I know that's the only thing we're going to hear in my whole podcast. But anyways, it's great.
What do you think about a rink on 16 here? What do you think about an outdoor game?
It's been I brought it to the table. Yes. We were working on trying to do the concert on 16, and it's sold out in pretty much 10 minutes. And you never know what the future holds. We're just we're
the tip of the iceberg.
So
exactly.
There's a concert every year right there? Or?
No, they just started. This year was the first year that they ever did an outdoor concert right there, and it sold out so fast. And we had 17,000 fans, and the word spread through the whole industry that this is the new venue. So. We have the Bird's Nest across the street, obviously, which is Wednesday,
later.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, exactly. and that was the first time we did it here. And
Was that last night?
no, it was on Saturday.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, if you guys look on Waste Management outdoor 16th hole concert, you'll see some cool. I mean, this is a bucket list item. People think, well, I'm here to watch golf. I haven't watched golf in 7 years. I didn't even know it's a golf tournament. It's here to network.
This is business. Yeah.
Oh, it's fun.
Business.
Each suite goes for $100,000,
Charity, business.
and everybody here knows that it's going for the kids and charity. And if you ever want to network and do any deal, it's going to get done on this course.
Bring me back to the Vancouver days, Thordy. When you met, what was Shane O'Brien like when you
Hordy
first
was the
met
best.
when you first met a young Shane O'Brien?
I watched Shane up and coming. He had 30-some fights. He's number 1 in the league in fights, and I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to have to fight this guy.
I was never going to fight you.
I was so confused why he was fighting because he was a good player. He's getting, 20 minutes a game, and I'm like, geez, he's a great D-man. I don't know why he has to fight, but he did it right. He got the reputation early on in his career and beat up a lot of guys. He didn't shy away. He threw him down the pipe, and then when guys like me came in, he didn't have to do it anymore, and I got stuck all of a sudden putting out the fires.
Do you remember? I played with
for half the price he got paid.
Do you remember the fight against Josh Gratton in Nashville?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
dude!
It was right in front of our bench.
Oh my God! Good old Josh Gratton.
It was
that guy could take him.
It was a Saturday night, and their team was staying the night, and this poor Josh Gratton was fucking in the dentist chair until about 4 a.m. with our dentist. We had a great dentist back then. I don't know if you remember her.
Great dentist.
She probably fixed those nice pearly
Oh,
whites.
yeah.
Those are fucking nice
I
chocolates
got
you got there.
15 fake ones right here.
But you had his. I mean, the fight was incredible. The Hordy, to people listening, they watch your fights. It was toe to toe, everyone. But you hit him square in the lips, and his teeth went back towards his fucking roof of his mouth.
I remember buckling him and thinking that he was done.
Going to go
and Josh, nobody was beating up Josh. If you look at his fight, nobody beat up Josh.
No.
So I was kind of surprised when he did the old down, and then he kind of popped up, and I'm like, holy, I'm in trouble. And
now you know because you can't feel anything. Then it's like,
And I'm like, oh crap. And we kept going toe to toe, and nobody knows this, but I got hit in the stomach, and he knocked the air out of me, and I kind of had to I've never had in my whole career the air knocked out of me with a gut shot. So I'm going to the penalty box, acting like I broke my hand, but I'm bent over trying to get my air, and I'm like, all the way to the belly box.
Gratz, they told Gratz he had his skull was thicker than the average skull. Like Gratz could take him.
He had a head like a caveman.
Yeah,
dude.
one of my
He
favorite
had like
roommates.
a caveman. Yeah.
Hordy, one of my favorite Hordy stories. I had Big Ern on. I told this story. I don't know if you remember, but we go in the Saddle Dome on a Saturday night hockey night in Canada. And Big Ern comes out with the fucking blonde mohawk, and he is working the line. I mean, I don't even know if he threw a fucking sauce pass. And you come in after warm-up, and you go, Obes, I think if we just let the Big Ern sleep tonight, he might not do anything. I go, he ain't sleeping, Ern. You got to fucking fight him because I'm fighting Prusty or somebody. And first shift, you went out and just went toe-to-toe with him.
Oh,
I
dude.
loved him. I loved
I
him.
thought I had him too, and then all of a sudden he was just kind of waiting for me to tire it out and threw some bombs that I've never seen thrown before. But
Oh, you did well against him.
Yeah,
you did well
no,
against him. You were a killer.
dude, that's the love of the game, But my old Mel Ingolstadt, these guys, when I first got in the group, they're like, I think we have a new tough Thunderbird. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I didn't even know they did so much research.
Yeah, of course.
But they were like, Hordy, your Mel Ingolstadt fight when I was 19, and you went toe-to-toe. And what was Mel, 27, and he couldn't even skate. Like, the guy's nose was in the side of his face. And I'm like, I'm in trouble. I almost quit hockey that day after I fought him early in my career. But
That is one of the greatest fights ever.
that was a fun one.
Ingolstadt Hordichuk, one of the best fights ever.
Obi, do you got some stories of Hordy and Van where he's
One of my
You got
greatest
a couple
stories, yeah.
for us.
So Hordy, we want to have a Hordy on. We'll have you on for a full pod, Hordy, because I can go with you forever.
Yeah,
but
let's give one more.
Burroughs has back-to-back hat tricks. And Hordy was notorious, in Hordy's defense, he was notorious for not using his twig in practice or in a game.
No, he wanted the best player.
So
stick,
he
like,
would use the Sedin stick, and everyone loved
The
Hordy.
Sedins are such a bad stick, though. You would never
Well,
like
That was a big blade. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't even
No.
catch a pass.
But
I couldn't catch a pass either way, but I couldn't catch a pass.
All
with
the
him.
guys loved Hordy because he's one of the greatest teammates and stuck up for him. So Hordy would use their twigs. Well, Burroughs had back-to-back hat trick games, and Burr had his stick tucked in the fucking stick rack ready for the next game. Well, if Hordy doesn't go out, and I don't know if he cut it or changed it or whatever, but we're out there skating, and Burr looks down and goes, "Is that my hat trick stick, Hordy?"
He had a couple good games, so I wanted to use his stick. I'm like, you know what? Hey, I found out it's not the wizard. It's not the wand. It's the wizard. Yeah, I learned real fast.
And then I just remember one other time I think Hordy was trying to take a couple twigs out the back that were probably signed by the boys, and fucking Patty O'Neill just is losing his shit. And I come around the corner, I'm like, Hordy, what's going on? He's like, oh, fuck, I don't, Patty. I was just, Hank told I could take these sticks. I thought I was going to take the sticks.
Hey, listen, I'm the biggest guy. Like, what am I going to do with Sedin sticks? Everybody like,
You're going to give them away?
Dude, it's all
Everyone's going to get a car deal out of it.
No, exactly.
Right?
I was
Yeah.
the biggest hustler, just like GM for the Thunderbirds. I hustle. I want to get deals done. I want everybody to be successful. Listen, the game on the ice is the game on the ice. Off the ice is where it's all lucrative. That's where you network and you're like, hey, listen.
You were the best at that.
I got 4 car sponsors. I got Luongo driving a McLaren. I had, me and Bird driving a diesel BMW because I act like an agent even though they didn't want to give it to me and didn't know they were talking to me. Dude, I had a Cooper. Remember, I had Hansen in a Cooper that year. I couldn't get him anything.
He looks like a Cooper. He belongs to Cooper.
Ehrhoff, I had in a Volvo. But yeah, so you know what? Sometimes you give and take. But obviously, I was probably cutting into his stash what he was giving away.
There was a course of probably 2 weeks to a month where Luongo and Hordy were negotiating the car sales for his fucking G-Wagon, and that's all the boys were talking about. Like, we weren't even talking. We had a good team, but we weren't even talking about games. Like, so where are you guys at now? And Hordy's like, Luongo's like, he's offered me passes to some fucking thing.
Yeah, hey Hordy. Yeah, what would be the most like absurd or obnoxious deal you've ever got to do? What's
probably a guy like Luongo where I buy his G500 and the guy's got $100 million in the bank and I protect him every game and all of a sudden.
Oh man, Luongo and Hordy going at it in the dressing room.
Oh dude, remember he wouldn't even take a shot from me in practice. He would step out of the net, so I started aiming where I knew he was going to stop, where he was going to move out of the net and just try to tee him off. I was like, hey.
So Hordy was the best too, right? I went through some growing pains in Vancouver, right? And I'd be in the room sulking, and Hordy come in and be like, oh, right in front of everyone, eh? Oh, you're sulking, eh? Oops, oh, you're sulking. What? You're not playing next game? Fucking sulking, eh? Oh. And then I come back and be happy, like, oh, he's happy again, boys. He's happy again, boys. He's happy again, boys.
Hey, so that reminds me too. We played on the 4th line for a bit in
Nashville,
where Trotzy was notorious for putting 4 names on the bottom of the 4th line, and he would not tell you if you were playing or not until after warm-ups. It's complete bullshit. Because you'd have to go through your day and your warm-up, and you're just like, man,
100%.
And then talk about moping. You're just like, why are you unhappy? Well, I don't even know if I'm fucking playing.
Yeah, that's
and if
bullshit.
I wasn't, I should be. I could be golfing. I could have had a late lunch. I could have had dinner. Now I gotta work out and eat.
Could have had sex. Sex.
So, but Trotzy would come in and it'd be I'd be on the left side. So would Hordy, Fiddler in the middle, Smithson on the right side, or something stupid, or Toots, and he'd come in and he'd just look around and look around with a little smirk on his face. He'd be like, Hordy, not tonight, kid. Not tonight. And he'd rub off Hordy's name, and I'd be like, fuck, now I got to play. Like, stuff like that. It was like a crazy mind fuck.
I mean, in playoffs, I don't even remember the one year in playoffs we're playing Detroit, and all of a sudden, I'm over there. I haven't slept. I cut the grass all afternoon. I'm like, I know I'm not playing.
Cut the grass.
Yeah, I come to the rink. Trotzy throws the wrong name for,
oh my God, Arkhipov. He wasn't even playing.
He wasn't playing. He put him in. Well, he wasn't even playing.
No, he wasn't. He was hurt.
He was hurt. So they put his name in, or my name on the roster by accident. It was something crazy where all of a sudden Arkhipov wasn't even there. So I had to play because I was the only one at the rink. And I'm like, what do you mean I play? Like, I don't play playoffs.
I was cut the grass all day.
Exactly.
Hey, you know why Trotzy did that when I was there too? I think he waits for Poyle to tell him who's playing.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah, it's the only thing I didn't like about Trotzy was I'm like, I said to him halfway through, I'm like, you gotta let these 4th liners and guys know if they're in or out. Like, you can't let them sit around all day.
Yeah.
Poyle, he was worried about all the bonuses for the rookies, eh?
Probably.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, this Upshall's got a top 12 forwards bonus. Just like don't play him more than like 12 minutes tonight, okay? What the? Come on, give the guy a break, eh?
Hordy,
after the match.
Hordy, we appreciate it, fella. I love you. Looking forward to hanging with you the next couple days here, and we'll get you back on Missin Curfew. But thanks for everything you've done here. And
yeah, I really appreciate your
love
hospitality.
my time with you in Vancouver.
I'm glad to see the success of this show, and it's everybody tune in. This is a fun group to listen to and to be a part of.
Thanks, Hordy.
Thank you, pal.
Awesome.
Well, big fella, we're back at it. We're midway through the day on our first day at the Waste Management Open here for the Pro-Am, and we have one of our longest time professional golfer friends / big hockey fan friend, Brendan Steele. Mr. Brendan Steele, how you doing today, big fella?
I'm doing great, boys. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah,
I really wanted to come and hang with you two.
Thank you for doing this, Steeler. It means a lot. We know you're busy this week, but like Uppy said, you were like my first real pro tour guy I played with, so it's we were talking, it's been, 10 years now or something?
Yeah,
since
it's
we've
been
known
10
each
years.
other?
Yeah, you introduced me to Uppy and Loophole, and we met through Kevin Klein.
Kleiner said I got a buddy of mine who lives in Cali, and
I played with Kleiner in Milwaukee too.
Great guy.
I love
He's
Kleiner. We
such
both
a
came
good
in the
dude.
league at the same time. We spent a lot of years in the minors grinding. He had a good career in the National League. Loved golf.
Yeah.
He was a big
Good
golfer. Take
too,
us
yeah.
back to when you first met Kleiner.
So Wayne Gretzky had his event up in Collingwood, I believe, up north of Toronto.
Yeah, Collingwood area. Yeah.
And they had a few hockey guys would come and play. And so one of the years I go to the officials and I say, come on, I'm a big hockey fan. Like, put me with a player. I need to beat somebody. I want to hang with somebody.
I'm
like,
sick of golfing with these, the
don't
rich
just put me
folks.
with an
I
AM,
want
right?
a good hockey guy.
Yeah. So they put me with Kevin. And obviously awesome guy, super fun to hang out with. So we kept in touch. Every time I came through Nashville, I would hang with him when he would come out and play LA or Anaheim or whatever. We'd get together. I'd come to the game, talk with him afterwards, go out for drinks or whatever. And then that led me to Obes. Mm-hmm. And then Obes led me to Lupul and Uppy and all the boys. So
I know. I was just trying to think. Where did we play our first round? Was it Seacliff? No, it couldn't have been Seacliff.
No, we played Newport.
Played Newport. That's right.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't Shady or Big. Yeah.
Sutsy?
No, I don't think it was with Sutsy.
No, it was Richie.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was Richie because we make the turn. We didn't have a game on the front nine. I remember this vividly.
All right.
We didn't have a game on the front nine. Make the turn, and Richie goes, come on, let's play a game. I want to play. I said, okay.
Get the cocktails flowing
yeah,
here.
I said,
let's go.
How many shots do you want? And he goes, shots. Like, I'm not taking any shots. And I said, well, if I got on the ice, would you just like run me through the boards, or would you kind of take it easy on me? And he's like, oh, I'd run you through the boards. And I said, all right, well, then no shots for you.
Yeah. And that's true about Richardson. He would. He would.
So Steeler, I got a story when we first met. You and I meet like in South Florida. You're coming in. You're playing the Honda. I had a GM, Dale Talon, who loved golf probably more than you or me and Obi, which
Dale
is crazy.
loved golf more than
Dale
hockey,
loved
I think.
golf more than hockey. He played more golf that year than actually showing up to hockey games.
Well, and he's a pro too.
He's a pro,
yeah.
U.S. Senior Am, like maybe champ.
Yeah.
But we had a night where Rocco's Tacos, and for anyone in South Florida, Rocco's Tacos. Tuesday nights there, you get half off the margaritas, half tacos. Who doesn't love some guacamole with that?
Guac's extra.
But it's a Wednesday night. It's a Tuesday night, and we play a game. We go out, you and I. You're staying at my crib, and we just kind of let it eat. And you make your way up to the Honda the next day. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I think we were up till about 5.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. We were missing curfew a little bit.
We were definitely missing curfew that night. We went to dinner. We had a nice steak dinner. And then you said, let's just pop in for one over at Rocco's Taco. Let's talk on Tuesday.
They got the DJ in there.
Yeah, and we go in, and then, of course, everybody's like, Uppy, hey.
I was doing my thing.
Yeah, next thing you know, it's 5 a.m., and we're going, okay, we got I got the Pro-Am tomorrow. You got practice.
I got an hour and a half drive here.
Yeah.
I got to get up to.
I'll tell you what you got. You got Upshalled.
Yeah,
you got Upshalled, buddy. There's lots of guys in the National League that got Upshalled.
You got Updoozled
and you're on
there.
the list. You're on the list.
So, and Keegs, I laughed about Keegs today because he's like, that day Steeler showed up and he was well put together. I had no idea. How do you do it with these hockey guys? He said, I'd be crippled. And you just went out. I think you had a great first round, too. Like, your Thursday round.
Honda's been good to me, so it's likely.
Yeah, no, I remember being
you're a ball striker. Eh?
I remember going
ball striker at Honda.
Going to practice, or it's like pregame skate. And I'm thinking, boys, show me what Steelers shooting there this morning. I had him out pretty late, And sure enough, I'm like, fuck, he's fucking top. He's leading the charts here. Let's go.
Now, normally I don't play well when I just sit in my hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy that sits. Now, I'm not going crazy. I'm not taking it wild, but I need to go out and have a little bit of fun. That was maybe a little too much fun, but I need to get out, have a little bit of fun, and then I can be ready to go.
Dinner. So So what you're saying is nights on the road, you're not sitting in your hotel room. And
Is
if you are, you got a
guy?
couple hockey games on or for baseball.
Well,
You get a little action
I love
going.
to get all the sports going, betting on all the games, checking all the stuff out. But I'm not the guy to just sit in there and think about golf the whole time because that's no fun. It's too lonely.
Me too. That's why I give these players what they've gone through the last couple of years with the testing. Same as you guys with the testing, but at least you're outside, but not being able to go to dinners and not being able to. I tell up, I don't think I could have done it when I was playing. I needed the release to go out and figuratively. I needed to go out and have drinks with the boys and have a good time. Same as you.
Yeah.
So.
Steeler, can you believe it's been 10 years since I had one of my best golfing experiences with you? I'm a big golfer. I played since I was a young kid, and obviously I love it, compete. I have 2 of my best golfing experiences with you. One being you invited me to Orlando where I was playing, just north of Fort Lauderdale. Got to play in a Walt Disney Pro-Am with you. But basically the Pro-Am, it's not like this today where you just play one round. And I got to play in an actual play my own ball in my own tournament for 2 days while these guys grinded on their Thursday and Friday rounds. And Steeler had me as his partner and went out and, in between the ropes, man, trying to make shots and witnessing you guys in your element it was awesome. So
yeah, that was super fun. That was a great time. And you held your own.
Orlando's a little stiffy though, eh? Orlando's not where you kind of can let it eat.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't really
What
let
do you mean,
it
the nightlife after the rounds?
There's not much going on at Walt Disney World in Orlando, is there? Or?
Not for us.
Not for us. No, you got that, you can go around that place to eat all those little restaurants and stuff in there, which I think we did. It's not where you're just going to kind of full throttle. It's not like a Nashville. It's not
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say if Uppy was on the tour back in the day, that wouldn't have been one of his
I wouldn't have
stops.
stopped there.
He would
Yeah,
have
he
crossed
would've skipped that
He would
one.
have crossed that
Although
one
I
off the
probably
list.
would have had to play in that one to grind to get back in on
Yeah,
the
you had
tour
to keep
because
it
it's my
hard there.
PTO. It
Yeah.
would be the PTO
Yeah, that's
event.
Steeler, I want to just ask you about, like, when I met you, you were kind of just getting on tour, and now you've won 4 times in your career, 3 or 4 times?
3 times.
3 times, and we've watched you win, and just talk about what it's been, how good of a ride it's been to where you are and how established you are now. Because when I look at you, it's just like, I'm just so proud of you, buddy. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I owe a lot of it to you. So
Yeah,
that's,
well, I thought I
appreciate
kept
that.
the times we played together. I thought I kept you loose. You know,
we
I
all
kept
we
you
all owe a little bit to the big fella. We all owe a little
always,
bit.
always. Yeah, it's been it's a weird process out here because it's very lonely. You have nobody else to blame. You can look around and blame your caddy or your coach or whatever, but it's all going to fall on you. So nobody's going to pick you up if you have a turnover in your own zone or something. You can't get a good
Luongo's
save.
not there to bail you
He's
out.
not going to bail you
Luongo's
out.
not there to bail you out.
No kidding. I'll buy you dinner, Lou. Eh?
Thanks, Lou. Good
Save
save,
this one.
buddy.
Will you make this putt for me, bud?
So it can be really tough at times, just as far as like how hard I am on myself and everything like that. But as I've grown and gotten older, I've learned more of what it takes. I've learned what I need to do to be successful, and I can be a little bit more efficient with my time because obviously now, being an older guy out here,
Being a dad.
Veteran.
everything changes. So the priorities shift, and you still have to be competitive. You still have to go out and try to beat the best players in the world. So it's trying to find that balance of everything and trying to do the best I can with that.
The thing I like most when I watch you play, obviously how far and straight you hit it, but when I've seen you in contention and when you're out there, you're talking to your caddy, like I feel like when you're playing well, chatter is part of your game a little bit, right?
It's a hockey guy.
Yeah, like a locker room guy.
Yeah,
like
for sure. Yeah.
You're always talking about shots and this and that and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I annoy some of the guys I play with that don't like to talk or don't like to chatter. That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
I talk a lot when I'm playing bad. I talk a lot when I'm playing good.
Yeah.
So it's just, but the good chatter is a little bit more just chatter about everything else, and the bad chatter is a little bit more about what an idiot I am for whatever I just did.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up other guys. Like, I've always wondered that about tour. Like, in hockey, if I don't like a guy, I can go out and cross-check him, right? Give him a stinky glove or whatever. Like, if there's a guy you don't like that you play with, do you just zone him out? Or
You pick up your clubs in his
there's
backswing.
tendencies like a guy annoys you with. Like, there's guys I play with that big kid. I'm not going to say anyone. They have some tendencies that I'm like, you kind of annoy me. But has that ever happened on tour? You just got to block that out.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of guys out here, right? I mean, it's like any other job with 250 guys.
Yeah, and different nationalities, different, they have
different
caddies
everything.
that are
So
driving.
you've got guys where you like to play with them, but you don't want to go to dinner with them.
Yeah.
You got other guys you like to go to dinner with, you don't want to play
Is
with.
he a good guy? Is he a great guy?
Then you've got guys where it's like they're great to play with, but we're never going to be friends.
Yeah.
And so you got all these different personalities, and when you get the pairings, you're like, okay, this guy's slow, or this guy gets mad, or this guy needs everybody to move in a certain place, or oh, these guys are great, these guys are easy, these guys hit it great, so you're going to see good shots. So every week's a little bit different, but you get used to playing with all types. And I've played some of my best rounds with pairings that I probably didn't like or that wasn't excited about. And when I played with Keegan, I haven't played that well. Normally Keegan plays good and I play bad. So I don't know if it's too loose for me.
Yeah.
And he brings the intensity.
You got to
still,
watch
or
him
like what
flip
it
his
is.
club. He comes
he's
behind
got
the
all
ball.
little
You're like, come on,
idiosyncrasies.
Keegs. All
Yeah,
right.
come on.
You forget you're in a tournament. I'm like, oh man, I'm at the tournament here. I'm not just playing the Bears Club with
Yeah, I
Keegan
can't
or
just
whatever.
scoop this one out of the bunker. Like,
Steeler, pick that up, bud. That's good.
Yeah. It's got to be a good feeling if you're at a place like this and you forget you're actually in a tournament. If you're that kind of zoned in and in your flow state, would you say like those moments? Well, what's your best moments? Like, what are you thinking? When does golf feel easy for Brendan Steele?
yeah, so it's something that I'm trying to always recreate, and it's hard to figure out why it happens or what the deal is. But there are times when you not necessarily forget that you're in the tournament, but you forget what hole you're on or how many under you are.
You're just hitting your next shot.
And everything is just about the next shot, and it's not that any shot's too important or less important. It's the amount of focus that you want and the amount of relaxation that you want, and it's all this balance that you have to find and try to strike. And when I was younger, a lot of the time when I was kind of playing late in the tournament, maybe in the last group or something, I would try to bring all this intensity, like got to be so serious and got to be so focused, and it's not good for me.
Yeah.
It's better for me to be a little bit more relaxed and then try to really snap in over the ball the last 20 seconds before the shot.
Yeah. Don't get too horny off the start.
That's it.
Don't go full Upshall.
Don't go full up, dog.
Don't come half chub.
Well, Steeler, you're a 4-time champ on the most difficult tour on the planet. Golf is the hardest sport, I think, mentally and physically to grind on and to be there. Where are you right now? Do you feel like, this is a year you can kind of get back in a good groove and grind? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, so I had a good fall. Japan was really good. I had a chance to win there, finished second. So that kind of set my year up. Didn't start out the first couple calendar year events very well. Had a good couple weeks of practice, and I feel like I'm ready to go. And this traditionally has been one of my best events, so I'm excited to get going here.
You're a West Coast guy.
I'm a West Coast guy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this event, and obviously we asked Keegs about it earlier when he came on. The atmosphere is charged up, but do you embrace it? Because like you said, you always stop here, or is it more the golf course sets up for you, or everything?
I think the golf course sets up for me, but then I think also I like the environment, and I'm not one of the guys that needs it to be quiet or guys to stand in a certain place or anything. If you're a guy that's really picky about where the crowd is and how they're acting, this isn't the place for you.
Yeah.
But if you just like having fun, it's a great event. And I mean, if you hit good shots, you're going to get great reactions. There's always a ton of energy, so it feels like a big deal. And the golf course itself is also great. So I've really enjoyed that part of it as well.
I mean, if you can play 18 holes with Lupo at Shady Canyon,
you can
handle any element you want.
Well,
you can
100%.
handle any element you want.
Although you're not going to see shots like that. People would die out here. People would get hit.
A couple
with
ankles
so
would be
many
getting
balls.
heads up there. Loop's wedge coming through.
Loops, we love you, but no one
Loops,
can hit a
we
ball
love you,
that
but-
far right or that far left on planet Earth.
The thing you got to
but
love about Loops too is that Shady Canyon is you would say a lot of snaky lies.
Very snaky.
Loops
out there.
will go in there and track down a nugget that I'm talking is 40 rows deep in there. He'll go in and try to find it. I think I got her, boys. I'm like, I don't know if you do, Loops.
Hey, speaking of tracking down ball stealer, my second best golf experience was playing alongside you and partnering up against Phil Mickelson and JJ Dunham. But it was after like a 3-week bender that Lupo and I went to London on, and Obi met us over there. Phil that day used the rule book like no one's business against us. Do you have any stories of this guy like in your games? Because you guys have some pretty competitive kind of amateur matches before tournaments. I know he gets you dialed in for your tournaments, but any good stories of Phil like where he's just pulling something?
Phil's so funny with the rules because he learns the rules and he uses them to his advantage, which is great. It's what you should do. And I remember asking him once, when you hit it offline and you get somewhere and you know you're in a really bad spot, is the first thing you do start looking for how you can get a drop? And he's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's just not the way that I think, but it's so smart. So he's looking at, if I can get a drop off this, I can get it over there, which gives me a drop off of that. You know, he's like thinking like a few drops ahead. And then he's told me one time in a tournament he took a casual water drop on the cart path, but he's like, I'm just going to take relief from the casual water, not the path. Then it's going to be on the path. Then I'm going to take relief from the path back into the water, and I'm going to snake my way back and forth until I get a shot.
And that's legal.
It's legal because technically he's allowed relief from each new impediment that he has in his way, right?
We got filled. So, you got up-dogged. Well, we were getting filled there.
You got to learn. You got to learn from the best, right?
Totally. No, it's good to have that. Has he been a guy? He's a California guy as well, but have you idolized Phil growing up? Like, who did you look up to as a?
For sure. Phil, Ernie, Freddie, who obviously
Freddie's the man.
is the best.
Freddie's still bombing it.
Still bombing it. It's crazy.
Yeah. And
how you hitting the driver right now?
Driver's good. That's
you hitting
usually
the new
not much
Stealth?
of an issue.
What are you
hitting?
hitting?
No. I've got.
Okay, so you're hitting the Wilson?
Yeah.
The boys at Wilson still taking good care of my boy.
Taking great care of me. And I'm using the ball now, too, which is fantastic. So I got to get you boys some of the ball.
Those are Brian Campbell's boys from Chi-Town, eh? The Wilson boys?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Just the one thing about Phil, sorry. Didn't you tell a story where you guys were playing a practice round and then he called Bones in at the end? You remember telling us that story?
Oh, yeah.
We were like, and he pressed us all the way down the back.
Yeah,
we're on the 9. He's like, hey, Bones, you come in here and have a peek at this.
Yeah. So we were playing and you know, he's trying. We're trying, but he's not giving it the full tour read and the full everything. And then it comes down to the last hole, and he's got a putt to win the match. And then he's like, Bones, come in here. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
He's bringing
like,
in Bones.
we're that
anybody
serious
but
now.
Bones. Anybody but
so
Bones.
Comes
Sorry,
in. Of course, Bones
that.
gives him the perfect
read of the century.
He rolls that one in.
That's funny.
But I thought you were going to say one of your best memories was the hole-in-one at Shady.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I got a couple. That was
off.
to close off the match.
Yeah.
That was to close off the match.
Come on,
and
boys.
we're playing
on 17.
We're playing 5 of us, right?
From the
Me,
tippies.
you,
Three of us.
Penner.
From the tips.
Penner and Loops.
Yeah.
I hit a
tips.
7-iron, boys, and I used to play a little bit of a draw because that was a draw into that hole. But I now
you got him going, Steele.
Look at this for a second. Just take a moment here. But that was a draw.
Yeah, you drew
right
it into
in
that
there.
pit.
Bounce.
And the celly was sick.
Thank
and we
you.
got the pictures with all the The clubs are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a full yard sale on the
I
tee.
remember-
Everything's just flying
I mean,
around.
I remember Steele said
when you
he's
get a
like,
hole-in-one with that group, it's game on.
Yeah.
Steelers
Right.
like, I've seen some good celebrations on hole-in-ones. I've seen a lot of hole-in-ones, boys, but that one was up there pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Clubs
number
going.
one for sure.
Obi,
Everything
do you
going.
remember that night? Do you remember that night? Because I'm like, hey, if we ever get a hole-in-one, like, we got to go and let it eat, you know? Like, so it was Pens, me, you, Loops, and anyway, Loops and I are fired up. We're in the clubhouse after, and I'm like, all right, where are we going tonight, boys? Like, it's on me. We're going, and Obes is like, I got a girl coming down from LA. Dog, I'm going back, and I'm
hole-in-one
just
or
straight.
not, Steeler. I don't know. You know, you're a married man, but hole-in-one or not, I've been trying to.
Were you trying to close something?
Yeah, I've been trying for a long time. And she said, hey, and then listen, back to
Tonight's the night.
Yeah, she said, I'm coming from Hollywood. I said, hey, Ups, I don't know what to tell you. Congrats on the hole-in-one, but I'm not going to make her out for the festivities.
Jeez, hey,
I had a couple-
just when you need one of your boys.
Yeah,
I had a
that's
couple beers with you in the
I
I
know you
left
did.
right after the clubhouse, but Steeler, I always been the one thing we were playing I'm a little bit better golfer now than back in the day, but I took your driver on number 3, and you're such a good guy. You're like, hey, can I try it, Steeler? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this looks nice.
You want that tour shit, right?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like, what do these guys have?
Oh, this looks nice and sexy. You're like, go ahead, give it a rip. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. So I tee it up, Uppy, right? And if I don't
No.
top it, dummy mark right on the end of the toe, and I'm like, that's not your gamer, is it? He's like, yeah, that's my gamer.
He thinks I've got some backup driver.
I
out there
know.
that I'm
Yeah.
working with.
Didn't you say the next one? You went down, looked at it the next day?
Yeah. I had to color it
That
in with a
seems something
Sharpie.
like Loople would do.
Yeah, it was a loophole. Yeah,
That
I
was a
know.
loophole move.
It was a loophole move.
We brought that up on Friday when we were playing with Loople, and Big E needed to hit my 3-wood. We were like, oh, no Obi here.
By
Like,
the
don't
way-
give him the
Yeah,
Obi
yeah,
with the dummy
exactly.
mark.
No one takes advantage of his best friend being a pro golfer and all the clubs that you have, like Mr. Eric Labe.
Oh, he
He
dominates.
is completely
loves
decked
you.
out with your gear, and he just loves it. He owns it well, though.
Yeah, he does. My gear's all over Orange County.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
it's
I got a great story of that.
You let
So
the
me and
boys in your
Lou
garage. Mistake.
We're playing in the shady,
Talent Cup.
the member guest Talent Cup, and sure as shit, I come home from a trip and my driver is in my travel bag busted. Right, and I'm like, fuck, I now Loople. He needs me to perform because he's not a 3-day member guest guy. He can give you one day, and then the next 2 is a little.
No, it's crazy how Loopstick works. He goes backwards. He's awful the first day, not bad, and then
he's
the third
good.
day.
So he gives you one solid day.
Yeah.
So I know I got to pick up the pace. So anyway, I'm like, Loops, I got no shaft. He's like, he's like, fuck, all right, well, Steeler, we'll just call Anastasia and we'll go up there, and you're on the road. I think you're in Florida or somewhere. You're in like
somewhere
New
on the East
Orleans or
Coast.
something. And anyway, so you make the mistake of letting us in your garage. And this garage is, you think I got a garage loaded with stuff. This guy's garage is mint.
Yeah, he's on the tour. I know it's
Oh,
tour shit.
I'm talking 16 tour bags, Steeler, the championship putters that he's won with. And so I go right for the shafts, of course. I'm trying to find one that fits in a TaylorMade. So I'm just,
And you FaceTime me, and I'm trying to.
Of course.
I'm trying to guide you around.
This
a
is
little
all
bit.
guided with you,
Yeah.
but then there's some sticky fingers in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I know who the sticky finger guys are, eh? And there's
Yeah,
Loople,
you
and he
are.
starts grabbing the Tour Edition Scotties. And anyone out there who's a golfer knows that a Tour Edition Scottie Cameron putter, they just don't show up on shelves like you. You need to be a pro to get one. Sir Loople's like, oh, he doesn't need this anymore, right? And all you do is, whatever you do, just don't take the one style of putter. What kind of putter is it?
It's just a big mallet putter, and he had it, and I said. He goes, oh, you don't need this one, right? And I said, oh, you mean the one with my name stamped in the side of it? Thing says Steele in the side of it.
And the best
I
thing
might
is,
use that one. I
The
might
best
use
thing
that
is
one.
your lovely wife Anastasia is like, guys, like you're looking in the wrong place. You got to go for all these sweet putter covers, and these are even harder to get than the putters. But they're all like Scotty's limited edition putter covers with
They
all
give
like.
them to us at the big events. They'll make a new one for the week at the majors or like special
So
editions.
there's a couple missing out of that bag.
Yeah, well,
And I don't have one.
Well, on Friday when I played with Loops, I'm driving down the range, and he's not there, but there are clubs on the range. And I didn't realize there were Loops clubs, and I see this sick head cover, and it's a Bay Hill head cover. And I go, man, somebody's got a sick Bay Hill head cover there. That's nice. Sure enough, when I pull around to the putting green, Loops is there a little bit later, and the Bay Hill thing's on the ground, and Loops is out there hitting putts, and I go, oh, okay, now I understand.
He's missing putts.
Now I understand.
He's missing putts.
He's leaving them short and pushing them right, if I can
Yeah,
imagine.
he's
anything.
going, buddy,
That's
I need some help
hilarious.
with my stroke here. Like, we got to get this together.
That's so funny. Well, Steeler,
I want to ask you about
yeah.
the LA Kings, Steeler. I know
Yeah,
you're a big
100%.
Kings guy. And listen, last year, Steele and me were texting about some hockey bets, and I went the favorites a lot, and then I kind of stopped telling you because I was ice cold. So I know you like to watch the games, but your Kings, I'll tell you what, I thought they were dead in the water, Steeler. But the way they're playing, it must be fun for you to watch them right now.
It's really nice. I mean, I think Blake's done a great job there.
Yeah.
Obviously, this summer kind of signaled that we're done rebuilding.
Yeah.
Go out and get Deneau, bring in Arvidsson, like making moves for now, which was great. Then obviously get off to a rough start. 1-5-1 start. Dewey goes down. Things are looking bleak. And then everything's kind of turned around. I mean, I think, and you can speak to this better than I can, but their metrics are all kind of off the charts, and they're slotting in. I heard the other day on NHL Network that they were slotting in between Tampa and Colorado and like chances created and like pretty significant.
I mean, they had a stretch of 13 games straight where they outshot their opponents.
Yeah.
And now sometimes shots don't lead to, always accuracy, but I mean, they've been outplaying guys. I love the way they hunt pucks. I love the way they check. And a guy that I've been talking to a lot about is Kempe, right?
Yeah.
I played against this guy when I was in the American League near the end of my career, and I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong league.
Yeah.
And as up he knows as anyone, consistency a hard part. But you watch him play now, and he's turned into the guy that the Kings were hoping he'd be.
We've always hoped for that. As soon as he came up, we're thinking, is this guy 20, 30? How many goals can this guy score? And
Well, that's what happens too, boys, when you play and you watch Anze Kopitar daily.
Yeah.
Like he has the same. He could be the same type of guy that Kopitar is, right? And eventually, like, someone that plays alongside Ryan O'Reilly, for example, they're going to take all these tendencies, these younger players, and they're going to get to the level that they should.
Yeah.
And I see that Kempe kind of like, all right, the tides are turning. Someone's got to pass on the torch. He seems like the guy. Great All-Star appearance. He's
Good
playing
hair.
great hair.
Yeah,
I
sick
played
flow.
against him in
sick
China.
flow.
I remember we went over. I was with the Canucks going over to play the Kings
Yeah.
in China, and he was a rookie. And basically, like, he was the fastest player on the ice. And I'm thinking, fuck, this kid's going to get 30 off the bat. And it did, like you said, it did take him a little bit to kind of get to where he is, but that's the build.
Yeah.
You need to have – that's why keeping older players alongside these guys is beneficial. You got to have it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's been great. The Kings obviously have been a team that traditionally built on defense and being big and heavy. The scoring, it's like, where is it going to come from? If it's not coming from Kopitar, and they obviously make Kopitar do a lot of penalty killing and start in his own zone and all these things that make it tougher for him to score. But now this year you're seeing Deneau take over some of those responsibilities. Deneau's scoring at a higher rate than he's ever scored. Kempe's scoring, Arvidsson scoring, Kopi's scoring. So, like, all of a sudden they have a little bit of pop, too.
And you're right about that Deneau signing. When they signed him, I'm like, they're overpaying for this guy. He's got no offensive ability, but he's come in there and done a nice job checking and just giving their depth. Another sneaky pickup was Alex Edler. I know he's been hurt a little bit, but on a one-year deal.
He should be coming back, I think, fairly soon.
And then for me, still, when I watch the plays, the way Quick's played, right?
Quick's been incredible.
Yeah, so for that, it's just like
I don't know if he's healthier this year or like what the difference is, but he looks like Quick from the Stanley Cup runs, really.
Or the Olympics. Yeah, exactly.
So are you safe to say here past the second half, or you think the Kings are going to get in, or what's your feeling here in the second half with them?
I think because of the depth that they now have and because of the metrics that they have, I think it's sustainable.
Yeah,
so I think that they can actually get in, which should be incredible.
And that Pacific Division it's crazy. At the start of the season, I thought it was going to be the worst division in hockey.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately going to end up being the best race in hockey. Like, you look 1 through 6 in that division right now. Granted, Edmonton and Calgary got a few games in hand, but it is wide open. Besides maybe Vegas is going to probably take off, but it's wide open for them.
Yeah, because really, Anaheim and San Jose are a lot better than we thought they were going to be,
way
too.
Better, yes,
so
better.
All of a sudden, the 3 California teams have really stepped it up. So
Oilers
it's
are like,
nice.
fuck.
Yeah,
Oilers
just
are
when we
like,
thought we were getting some traction.
Totally.
What about the new name of the Crypto.com, the Staples? How do you feel about that? Is it always going to be Staples to you deep down?
You got any crypto? You got any crypto?
Yeah.
I don't have any crypto.
Oh.
I don't. You
Yeah, me
feel like
either.
a crypto guy.
Yeah,
You like crypto?
I got ripped off trying to buy an NFT 2 weeks ago.
Did
so
you?
That was my poor attempt at jumping
Uppy's one of
into
those
this
guys that wants to live in what's it called? Uppy, the
metaverse.
Metaverse. Yeah, he wants to get in the
I don't want to
metaverse.
live in there, but it's coming like before we know it. I'm a big Westworld guy.
I like Westworld.
And Westworld's a great show, and look at the shit that's going on. It's right there.
It's right there.
Westworld's right there. We're going to be going in with these robots here, sure enough. Like, we're having fun.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'm in. If you get a place,
We'll set up the golf course with all, doing the thing in Westworld, the metaverse, and all that good stuff.
Steeler, we appreciate your time. You got early tea time tomorrow, huh? 7:50?
I do. First out tomorrow.
Wow.
So
well,
we're going to set the tone.
I guess the greens will be good, right? That's what
Greens will be good. It'll be dark and cold.
So no Missin Curfew tonight for Brendan Steele?
No Missin Curfew tonight. You're going to have to wait.
Maybe you go low, tomorrow.
Let's
You
set
go
the
low
tone.
tomorrow, and then we'll have a night on Thursday.
That sounds like a good plan.
All right.
We appreciate you taking your time, buddy. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Up dog, we got him. Max, thank you, buddy. I know it's been a long day for you. We saw you come by at what time was that? At 9:30? I know.
9:50. I was here at 7. I was here at 7:50 this morning.
That's a different crowd than at 3. And they have
It was the coffee, maybe coffee and Bailey's crowd. It wasn't. It wasn't the tequila all over the shirt. And just,
I definitely like the afternoon crowd better. It's a little more fun, but there's a nice mellowness to the morning coffee and Bailey's crowd.
Yeah, it's kind of the wake and bake crowd.
Yes, the wake and bake out here in Scottsdale. Not so bad.
Totally. I mean, the sun actually, so behind us here in North Scottsdale, the sun comes up over that mountain in the morning, boys, and it's beautiful.
Nice.
It actually makes you feel like you want to play golf.
This is a golf city. It makes you want to go play golf. The tough part about living in Southern California, as you boys know, sun comes out and you want to go to the beach.
Totally.
Here, there's not a lot of beach, so you just go to the golf course.
Yeah.
How long you been living here now, Max?
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
3 years.
It's obviously been a great success for you and everything. We miss you in Cali, but the boys
I know.
have big miss you. Dennis Shannon, he wanted me to say hi to you. He loves you.
I talked to him 2 weeks ago. Mongo. I do.
Mongo.
I like living out. I like living out here, man. I get to hang out with people like Mike Commodore.
Yeah,
that's a great selling point. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it has everything you need minus the ocean. It's just like California. Golf is probably a little better here. Just with how much space they have. Real estate's a bit expensive. It favors you as you sold the house.
Yeah, I did.
But it's good.
I'm looking to
like
move that.
here.
I'm looking to move that cheddar somewhere, maybe somewhere in the desert.
Yeah,
like you said, a little cheaper dirt. A little cheaper dirt. You get a little more competition too with the golfers around here.
Yeah, I mean the literal best golfer in the world lives here, so that helps. You got I play with Ches Reavie, Wyndham Clark. You get big games and with really good players. So it's like you go home and you're essentially playing another golf tournament, and you just stay as sharp as you can. And in the off season that we have, 2.5 weeks off, we get, you're just staying as dialed as you can. And I think that's a big plus of living here, because California, we got some players, but there's a small handful of pros. So it's nice.
Well,
to be
Maxie,
with them.
we got 1 year left at Big Canyon as junior members. So when we turn 40,
and then it's get the
we might be
checkbook
texting you being like, "What can we get out there? Can we get in? What's the best one out here? Whisper? No,
we're gonna need you to
whisper.
We're gonna need you to come on this podcast a lot more so we can make some more
I
money.
got you, boys. I got you.
Listen, you guys are great, but you told me 3-hour round, play 9 holes, bro. As golfers, that's too long.
Yeah, I know part of it's the show, the chaos of the waste management, or the wasted management, as some people say. I was lucky. My group, I knew everybody in my group today, so it wasn't like, how many kids do you have, and where do you live? So I knew all that, so that was cool. But 3 hours is just not cool. I was supposed to see you guys 2.5 hours ago was my plan, and I was way late.
We appreciate you coming.
Are you playing at you Silverleaf, or where are you at?
Yeah, I play Silverleaf and Westbrook. I practice here a lot,
Those are the
though.
two.
This is a little closer to my house.
Yeah.
We get the back of the range. No one's back there. So I get probably my best work in here, but all the games and stuff are at Westbrook and Silverleaf.
Is there any members that you play against that are just easy money, like human ATMs when you go play on your off days? And you go
me?
get a little money game?
Me if I was a member at your course? You're a 6 handicap? How?
It's the big guy.
It's
the big guy.
The gentleman over there in the nice pink shirt who just bought us around.
His elevator, or his handicap's going up like an elevator lately. It's just straight up.
Well, it has to. And that's the thing too. As a hockey guy, you take 2 weeks off. You think you can still compete, and then your handicap stays low, and you're going out and you're just getting your ass whooped. And you're like, "There's no way I should."
I like to rely on that.
Right?
Yeah. I wish he played a little more hockey, so his handicap would just stay the same. Come out rusty.
Max, I gotta tell you, I'm like a 7 handicap, but 3 months ago it all came together. I don't know what happened, but I shot 69. I wake up, I wake up the next day.
Stellar.
I go from a 7 to a 3.
Oh,
and then I go 2 months of not shooting, not breaking 80. So I'm at Big Canyon. I'm just like this. The boys are waiting for me.
Hey, next time you shoot in the 60s, call me. I will fly home for a week, and we can play for the next 7 days.
Yeah, exactly. You make more money in that week than you will in the show.
Hell yeah.
So, Max, 3-time tour winner, buddy. You're coming into a big weekend this weekend and next. You're on the West Coast. Next week is a 1-year anniversary of your Genesis Championship. Excited?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I went and did my media day 2 weeks ago. I didn't really think much about it, but when I was driving into the property, I don't know why, I got reminiscent, and it was just cool. A million moments started rushing back. One being just Joe and I, my caddy and longtime friend, grew up in the same hometown, went to tournament. I mean, it's like our little golf tournament,
100%.
and just like we were the last two kind of people at the golf course just walking into the parking lot. I don't know why that just hit me. So I'm stoked to go back this year with fans, friends and family will be out there. Will be cool. It's always my favorite event, but this year is going to be something.
Dude, you got your Dodgers World Series, and then you won the Genesis.
Yeah.
I was like, Homa's feeling good.
Two things I did not think were ever going to
happen. I'm like, Homa's feeling good.
Are you a Rams fan by chance? Or
No, I was more of a Rams fan when when Goff was there.
Yeah,
Goff and I went to college
He
together.
was here today, actually.
I'm going to dinner with him tonight. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Yeah.
So I follow
like
Aaron wherever
Rodgers.
he may end up or stay. So I was a Packers fan this year. But I mean, I'm rooting for the Rams, LA team. I'm rooting for them. I think they're going to win. But I do that Joe Burrow kid.
Man,
he might be my favorite. He's up there in like the young guns of athletes. Like he might be my favorite one.
Max, we had Keegan Bradley on earlier, and obviously Keegan's a Boston guy, and he said, I don't know, man, Joe Burrow's got kind of a Brady feel to him, and it's funny. I had that feeling because he's cost me money the whole fucking playoffs except for week one, and I'm like, he's got a little Brady feel to him. Like it's almost like. I don't know. I want to see the Rams win for Staff. He's a beauty and whatever, but it does have that feel to it, right?
He's got, like, you can never quantify the it factor, but whatever that is, he has all of it. Like, he's got all of it. The whole team loves him. He's like, seems like the best leader going, and he's just smooth. Like, he's just smooth. And he has that cockiness that no one cares that he's being cocky. Like, he had that line that he said something about, like, he was wearing those funny
sick fighter jets just flew over our head.
Hey, keep it down, boys. Hey, keep it down, boys.
America.
He's wearing those funny ass glasses he's got. I can't pull those off. And his Instagram post or something like that. It's like Cartier glasses. I can't even Pikachu. He's just talking about baby references. Oh, this guy's just cool. Like I don't know what it is.
That's great. So break down this golf tournament a little bit for us. We've been here all day. It's an absolute shit show over on 16, and that's kind of where I like to get in the mix. I like a little mix.
He's been buzzing. He's got up and down those stairs 14 times already.
I love it.
That's why
I
he
think
stays in game
there's
shape.
so much action. So describe maybe coming out into that tee, like you have a walk-on song. Like what would it be? Like because I've heard. It's just pumping tunes in there all day.
It's pumping.
Do
if I had
people
to
even know there's a golf tournament
No,
going on?
this golf tournament, summed up as quickly as I can, is a party that a golf tournament broke out at.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're at a party and like someone starts playing beer pong and it gets competitive. That's the beer pong is golf here. Like it's like we just decided to roll out and like play for $1 million. And but it's awesome. But it's chaos. I mean, I was just telling the story. My first time ever playing here, walking down 10. You walk 10 to 16 is the easiest route, and I cart past crowd. I'm just trying to cross to get in the fairway, and there's these two pretty girls and like heels look like they're going to bevy, and I'm like, excuse me, and she gave me like the look like, excuse me, I have a boyfriend look, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm just trying to play.
I'm looking for my ball. I'm looking for my ball. You see the Titleist over here?
This is different, man.
Dude, there was a crew that walked by here earlier that they looked like straight, like they were going like last weekend in Vegas. They should have been. Like, the outfits are unbelievable. That's what blew me away. The first two things when I came here 3 years ago was what the girls wear, which you got to respect. And me and Uppy been to a lot of music festivals, and me and Uppy like getting banged up. But on the Saturday here, I will put up the drunkest human beings in the history of the planet. Like guys leave here like I've never seen people that drunk.
One of the best parts about living here is meeting. I know some of the people who work, whether it's like the beer gardens or work at 16 or whatever, or at the Bird's Nest, and I get a lot of the videos of like the like the drunk guy who's like walking half down. It's like he's in his own tornado.
He's leaving Burning Man.
I love that. Yeah, he's just like
that's a great way to describe
it. He's lost all four. Like gravity is beating the shit out of this guy. And he's just like slowly making his way. And I get to see all of those videos. I mean, this hill, you'll see people rolling down that hill. When it rained here 3 years ago and Rick won, I mean, people were just sliding down the hill all muddy, drunk. It's so much fun.
I walked through here my first year coming to the golf tournament. I was playing for the Coyotes, and I had a super hot girlfriend at the time. And I had ace. Then I went single for 10 years. But anyway, I just tore my ACL, so I had like a little golf cart like this.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I was just cruising, right? And sure as shit, I'm coming down 18 along the bleachers, and every guy that I passed was just like, hey, yo, you one-legged, like, fuck, send your girl up here. We got her, right? And I'm just like, these guys are animals here. This is crazy. Like, no one cares.
Yeah, no, on 18 today in the Pro-Am, I hit it in the right bunker off the tee, getting in to hit my shot, and some guy yells, like, something about how he should have hit the fairway, which is just really good joke. Like, really good. And then he said it again a couple minutes later, and I looked up, which I will not do in the tournament. My theory in this tournament is do not feed the animals.
Yeah,
like, you give them one and you're out. So I said something to him, like, that wasn't funny the first time nor the second time, and he just starts making kissy faces at me, and I'm like, this is the weirdest. I mean, we're not used to, you guys, part of like a sporty community that has like a lot of like heckling and trash, and I like all that, but we're just it's so abnormal for golf that it's just it's just a loose cannon. Everyone's just screaming.
And you must get more of it now because of how unbelievable you are on Twitter, right? With the golf swing leagues.
Yeah, I brought this upon myself.
No, I mean, hey, listen,
I'm sorry, but you've asked for that.
Yeah, I've asked for this.
What you say to, and we talked about this last year we had you on, but what you say to guys about their golf swing, man, I don't know where you come up with it, but it's a tasteful, and this is what I used to tell. That's what I used to tell people when they came in the league in the NHL. If you want to chirp, you got to be tasteful about it. You can't just say something that's too true.
You can't just say you suck.
Exactly.
Like, make it
funny.
Make
it tasteful.
Be gentle.
Yeah, because I turn around and I say, hey, bud, your girl that you're sitting beside, she's staring at me. You paid for her ticket.
Yeah, that's
what. This is.
Yeah.
She probably wants to fuck me, bro.
That's all I would say to the guys, the mutants behind the penalty box. They'd be sitting there with all dudes. I'm like, shocking, you guys got no girls with you here.
Yeah.
Like, shocking.
There you go.
Have another hot dog or something. I would
there
say. That's all I would really say. To them.
I say that's what I need for this week. I need to step up my response game. I don't have a good response game.
Just wait till Twitter. You got it on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll wait till there.
Max, I want to ask you. I think I saw something about a new whiskey company. You got something?
Yeah,
going
Elijah
on?
Craig.
Let's talk about that, brother.
Doing a partnership with them. I think they're doing something with the tour coming up. I don't know if that's new knowledge, but yeah, it's awesome. I had never been to like a distillery like that before, so visiting there was cool.
Yeah.
Me and my caddy are doing much like content stuff for them, and it's really good. So it's been fun. Now I upgraded from really low level beers to like old fashions. I'm an old fashioned guy.
Listen,
now.
you can come to a Missin Curfew dinner. Me and Uppy drank 400 old fashions in Vegas last weekend.
Oh hell yeah!
Well,
I'll bring the booze.
I don't know if that's.
We're looking to add to those numbers here. At
you should. This is the right place to do it.
No, I know it is. So where do we find that whiskey? Everywhere?
Dude, kind of everywhere.
Okay, good.
It's rad, and like I said, it's if you want to grow up a little, like here and there for dinner, if you want to just grow up a little bit, I feel like that's the way to do it. I don't need any more hair on my chest, but I mean, it's something I could drink.
We could use a couple of.
Yeah.
We could use someone. We could use someone else.
Well, Max, I know you had a big weekend.
Yeah.
We're just glad.
What time are you off tomorrow?
Glad you come on and
I
shoot
don't
the
even
shit.
remember. The morning. The morning time. I gotta check that.
You're gonna play on our team for sure. Because we're always like, what time's the bus at? No idea.
Steelers got a 7:30. I'm like, Steeler. Then we'll see you. We'll see you Thursday night.
Yeah, that's
after.
Tough.
Yeah. This is the one tournament you don't want to get stuck out on a Saturday morning early. So
we appreciate you taking your time. I know it was a long day for you fellas, so thank you so much.
Love you boys.
Good luck this week, buddy.
Yeah,
keep her going.
Thank you, guys.
You got the nice tan going. You're looking good. Keep her going.
Perk of the golf.
Part of the job, baby. Learn to feel good, play good.
Exactly.
All right, big fella, we're back at it. We're at
the main attraction.
You know what? Golf is dying down. But the beauties are still here.
Yeah, this is when we take over. The sun's about to go down a little bit. And this is a guy here. I saw him a couple years ago at the W. You're on the same game plan as I was, Commie. Mike Commodore, thanks for joining us, fella.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
How's the golf game right now, bud?
Trash.
Is it?
It is.
Is it just a day of the week trash, or is it just been a bad month, or what's up?
I've been working. I go into these simulators, and I'm trying to get my golf swing instead of wrapping it around my fucking head. I'm trying to keep it short. A little more consistent.
Yeah.
Anyways, simulator, it's all working nice. So just on Saturday night, I get shit-faced. It's basically like Top Golf, but in Canada, and you can run it at like up to minus 20 Celsius or whatever. Anyways, so I'm outside hitting balls, and rental clubs, and I think I should just start fucking playing with rentals. And I'm fucking hitting it nice.
Flush.
Nice.
Flush.
I get down here yesterday.
Real grass.
I mean, it's not I don't give a shit. I get out there. I just put a fucking hour range session in. Honest to God, every other ball was 50 yards right into the fucking cactus.
You had a case of the loopholes, eh?
Oh,
that's
is
what we
that
call
how
the
he
case
hits
of
it?
the loopholes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I had the big time. I should have put one of his fucking jerseys on. It was fucking embarrassing. But thank God I was way at the side of the range. Honestly, I hit a shot. I'd be like, fuck, I hope nobody saw that.
So
it's
when
like Tin Cup. We're supposed to be professionals here.
Oh, Jesus. People were in play, like dead right.
Hey, I saw a couple
50
guys.
yards out.
When we got here today, I went over and watched some of the Pro-Ams warm-ups. Don't feel bad. There was a couple guys in that range that I'm like, they're going out and playing that Pro-Am right now. Like, I'm talking chili dippers right down the range. So
they would just be shitting their pants out there and then come into this hole. 16 people just giving it to you.
Hey,
they're just hoping to get
like my whole career. Like my whole career. Get off the ice, O'Brien, for fuck's sake.
What the fuck are you doing out there?
So, Commie, would you say, like, coming back from Canada, your game isn't quite in tip-top shape? Because you play with a lot of pros around here. We just had Max Homa.
Sure.
I asked Homa, I'm like, hey, so you getting some money games like on the off days? Like any of your buddies like easy money, like the human ATM? And he's like, he just literally points right at you.
Yeah. You know what? I would like to say that's a lie, and I would like to come back and be like, you know what? He's full of shit. You know, I've taken a couple bucks off. It's not even fucking close, and I'm getting 1 million strokes.
I know.
I'm a.
You know what? These guys.
I'm a forehand. I go anywhere from a 2 to a 5. Oh, they're so good. It's disgusting.
Are you playing at Whisper Rock?
I still am. Yeah.
How is that course?
It's good.
The best, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Well,
the course is awesome. The hang is great.
The hang is great.
I heard the
clubhouse is great. I got a little, and you probably do too. Yours is probably a little bit crazier hair than mine, but I got a bobblehead in there. I got a little bobblehead at our boy. It was Mike, right?
It was Zeno. Yeah, he's now out in Maui.
Those
are now all gonzo.
What?
I know.
Oh,
I had one there
too.
It's fucking gone.
I
keep asking where are those bobbleheads.
Yeah, so the clubhouse guy, beauty. Like it was whatever you needed.
He
you know, if you're in the tub and you needed 4 fresh beers, he's bringing over the beers. It's whatever.
I thought you were going to say 4 fresh blondes. I was like, this guy's a good guy.
Well, hey, there's no women allowed.
No women allowed. It's a quick way to get out of there. But he fucking loved hockey players. He would do that for just
Yeah, I know. He's
he
a great
loved
guy.
hockey.
Because Gretz, when I played here for the Coyotes and Gretz was our coach, he brought a couple of us out the one day. And anyway, like you're right, he loved hockey guys. It was such a good atmosphere.
Hockey guys.
Good ice cream in there. You got a good ice. Was it like a Sunday watching football?
It was his. What was it? It was his milkshake.
Oh, the milkshake is what
I like. Those when I'm hungover. Fucking thing up with
the Whisper Rock milkshake.
Oh, when I'm hung, I like a good milkshake.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll have to. We'll go chunking around and we'll fucking smash milkshakes.
Yeah, I'm down, Commie. I'm in for that.
I'm drink as many milkshakes as it takes strokes. He's fucking loaded.
I'll be hitting the shitter on the way out, that's for sure.
Hey, Commie, so I got to tell you, when I first met you, we had some fun. You were, you know, one thing I always appreciated you as a single guy, and I was a single guy for a long time, is you never settled down in one place. You were you had a spot in Kelowna on the lake, and then you're like, you know what, up dog, I'm only here for like a month, and I'm going to head back, you know, I'm going to go to maybe, you know, Pheonix or Maui for a bit. And just, you know.
Yeah.
What was that? Like, not many hockey guys really have it in them to stay single and stay fun and like really enjoy their life. But you fucking kind of found like a thing from winning a Stanley Cup to just enjoying yourself to being single to traveling around, not staying in one place. Can you describe what that life like?
You know what? I've actually it's actually funny you brought that up because I'm 42 years old now. And
still looking fresh, by the way. I got to tell you.
Thank you. It must be the cut of the shirt.
No, you're looking
good, buddy. Thank you. I mean, I work at it a little bit, at least try and keep it just
where we're at now.
Marginally the fuck together a little bit. That's basically what I do. Yeah, you know what? It's just, you know, I'm dating somebody right now, and she's great or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get these, and I've actually done a lot. It's amazing that you. Thank you for bringing that up.
Of course.
I'm like,
a lot of soul
God
searching.
damn! I'm like, I can't. You know, I'm 42 years old. Am I supposed to do? I can't fucking stand it. I can't. I don't want anything to do with dating. It's so hard for me.
Me and you should.
And I'm like, man, I get in a place. I think maybe part of it. My old man. When I went to the University of North Dakota.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he said this. My dad's been married for fucking 50
Tony
years.
Herkus, eh? Tony Herkus is
the Herkus Circus. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Hobie Baker winner.
First year. Yeah.
You play with him?
He's
a fucking North Dakota legend, that guy.
Little wily fucking
backdoor tap-ins like no one's business.
Smart player.
Very smart, yes. So my dad, when he dropped me off at college, and I don't even know why he said this, he dropped me off, so freshman year, dropped me off at Walsh Hall. He goes, hey, just make sure when you leave here you got no ties.
Yeah.
And I'm like literally came out, I'm like, I don't know why I fucking remembered it. So, I mean, ended up playing there for 3 years. And then my career, I played 14 years as a pro. I played for 14 fucking teams.
Boy.
Literally.
That's a good thing. Fuck, everyone wanted you. Everyone wanted you. Everyone wanted me. Come on.
You doubled our totals. I got 7. I think he's got 6
got a lot
or 7.
too.
This is including American League in Russia.
Okay, good. Okay, then we're probably up to about 10 or 12.
We're all in the same ballpark.
Totally.
And I get in one place, and I'm part of me is kind of trying. Be like, I should fucking settle down maybe. But then I'm like, this is no fucking fun.
Yeah.
I have no fun. I fucking hate this. And I'm like,
Commie, I don't know where you're moving, but I'm going to come neighbors with you guys.
I think I'm moving right back here.
Because my dad said to me, sorry to cut you off. My dad said to me when I made pro, he said, he goes, if you get married before you're 30, you're a fucking idiot.
Your dad's a smart dude.
I don't know, and my dad's been married for 35 years, and my mom, and they love each other still, but it's sunk in with me, and I'm 38 now, and I'm with you. I mean, I was dating a beautiful girl for a year and a half and whatever, but I'm just with you. I don't have
hard.
the urge. It's hard. Like
I got to be
wanna-
honest.
I'm so used to being.
I'm like, how the fuck do these people do it?
I know.
Yeah. I don't
What's
get it.
your secret?
It's tricky,
Seriously.
boys.
I mean,
Oh,
There's
this
something in
guy's-
the water somewhere. I
just
don't know.
give up?
Don't ask me.
I don't know. You just
No, but
give
listen,
up.
hey,
Is that what it is?
You
I
fucking
don't
give
know.
up, Commie.
You just give
No,
up.
but
You
think
just
of-
say you win, and then
I'm
you-
done.
Yeah.
Here's my credit card.
And then there's a.
Think of your old man.
And then you
got
to sign up for a bunch of rules. There's rules when it comes with it. There's all kinds of rules when you know. You can't do this
Yeah.
anymore. You can't do that
Oh,
anymore.
fuck.
Think
do
of Pitter and how hard he worked, right?
You're
and
a
think of
beauty.
your old man, how hard they worked to raise us, and he sends you off to school, and it's your young little prodigy, right? Your young little prodigy, and he's a fresh, like, let's just say innocent prodigy about to hit the world, and he's got talent, and he doesn't have to work in his hometown. You're from Alberta. I'm from Fort McMurray, Alberta. Fucking Port Hope.
Yep.
Your dad sees this like young kid that's going to go attack the world and be able to chase his dreams, and the last thing he wants is for him to like do something dumb.
Yeah.
Like get someone pregnant, or just
Or get
you
married.
end up-
or get married.
Yeah,
It's like
you get somebody pregnant, you get somebody, and then the next
Because-
thing you know, I'm in Fort Saskatchewan still.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
nothing against it.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
are you a
nothing
Fort
wrong with it.
Saskey boy?
I'm a Fort Sask
Fucking
guy.
Liverpool
Yeah.
and Wiz.
Yes,
Wow,
exactly. Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, nothing but talent coming
Fuck,
out of
that's
there.
a lot of
It's
taste.
with those two. and I
No,
just tagged
that's a
along.
good crew there. That's a good crew of guys right there. You
Yeah,
can play
a
it
lot
any
of
way you
bat-
want.
hey, a lot of battles
You
against
can play
the
it.
Fort Mac
You can
boys.
play it
Hey,
any way you
Phillips,
want with
hey,
those
how,
guys.
how many times did you had to go up and fight in Fort Mac when you were
Oh
a
my
junior?
God! I went up to Fort. I actually went there for the first time since. I've been there probably maybe 2 times in my life.
Yeah.
First time going up there,
Yeah.
I was playing for the Fort Saskatchewan
Traders,
Traders when
yeah.
I was in grade 12. I was 16 years old, and they always had a fucking tough team. I went up there. I don't even know. I shouldn't even brought a stick. I mean, the place
fans
was.
are all over
oh
you.
my God!
They're
I don't know how
you-
many beers I
Yeah,
got
you
dumped
pussy.
on me.
You're not going to fight.
Get
you.
on the ice. It was on. And they had a tough team. I'm 16 years old.
Oh,
I'm fighting
buddy.
guys that are 20 years old. I mean, I'm in one here.
I know, in one. It's pretty-
Oh,
dude,
and I'm like,
Same
I'm
as
fighting
me.
for my life. Crowd just giving it to me. Booted out of the first game. Play the next game. Booted out of that
Hey,
one too.
so this is
It was-
funny.
I mean, it was prison rules.
This is funny about
Buddy,
Fort
same
Mac goes
thing.
just before you.
Should have
Yeah,
just
yeah,
showed up in the
He
parking
talks
lot.
about
Fought
playing-
everybody on the team.
He
You have
talks
to
about
get dressed,
playing-
boys.
Yeah, fucking. What am I bring my gear up here for? It was crazy.
You talk about playing back-to-backs in Fort Mac. There would be an 8:30 p.m. game on Saturday, Obes, and it was so all the guys that worked the trade, like up at the oil company, they could get off and come to the game. So 8:30 p.m. and then you'd have a 2 o'clock game the next day, just so you can get home at a half decent hour because it's 4 hours
Right.
back to
Yeah,
back.
4 hours back.
You
back to
imagine
like
you're
Edmonton or whatever.
literally fucking getting home after getting fighting your fucking
Oh.
way out of that arena, and then
Fuck.
getting up at noon to go play again, and then hitting the bus and just ice bags.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh, it was just,
Commie,
man,
same
it
as you. I was
tough,
16
dude.
years old
Gotta be
playing
tough.
Ontario Provincial, and my uncle played in the NHL for a while, Dennis O'Brien, and just getting the shit kicked out of me every game. And I come out one day with my head down. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm getting beat up." He's like, "You're 16 years old. If you're not getting beat up, you're not fighting the right guys. Like, you're gonna have to
Right.
eventually learn." And
Yeah.
that's what I would tell young guys. And you were a killer too. But there's only one way to learn: is get in there.
You got to get in.
You
there.
got to get in there.
Just get
It's
in
not fun for anyone. You just get in there. And get
Yeah,
after
it
it.
ain't fun.
No.
It
It's
ain't
like
fun.
picking
You're
up
gonna
chicks.
you got to learn
It's
the
like
hard
picking
way.
up chicks.
Yeah,
you gotta get in
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Get
You know
in there,
what?
yeah. You're gonna say something stupid.
100%.
You're gonna say something.
It's only
stupid,
going to
or
make you a better guy.
Rod's gonna tell you you're an idiot. And
Yeah.
I learned from that. But that didn't work.
Someone will like it. Her friend might like it.
Yeah.
Commie,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you,
Heavier.
buddy. I've heard a lot about you from Loops and Uppy, and obviously I played against you and stuff. But when you won the cup, when you traveled around and went to fucking every Stanley Cup party, that was one of the most legendary things I've ever heard. Was that just spur of the moment? You said, "Fuck it," kind of how you live your life in general, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was actually, that's bang on. I ended up, long story short, so it was my first year in Carolina. We ended up winning. We were supposed to be trash. And Rod Brindamore was the captain. And so Rod didn't talk to me for, basically the entire year. So we had a rookie party like halfway through the year or 3 months in. I think it was in L.A. So I get shit-faced at this fucking rookie party. I'm like, fuck Rod. I'm like, so I start giving it to him a little bit in a good way.
Yeah, a tasteful way.
And anyways, and Rod had this, I'm not sure if he still does it, but he had this golf tournament in Campbell River where he's from. He had it for like 15 years. He never invited anybody because in his mind he thought nobody wanted to come. So the only person he ever had there, which is great, but he had Harold Schneps. And never had
The old D-man. The old
Yeah.
D-man, Vancouver
Oh, yeah,
Canuck.
the Vancouver Canuck
He's
legend.
the only guy who had slower feet
That's-
than me, I think, in Vancouver.
He was the only guy that went. So I heard about this golf tournament. I'm shit-faced at the rookie party. I'm like, Rod, I'm coming to your golf tournament. He's like, oh, yeah? He goes, I'm going to remember this. And I go, yeah, fuck, you don't invite anybody. What a fucking joke. I'm fucking coming. So it ends up, it's an Olympic year.
Yeah.
We end up winning. So the point of the Olympic year is that the season's longer.
Yeah, it's longer.
So we end up winning June 19th. It was. So we end up winning, doing all this shit. I'm getting shit faced in Raleigh. I mean, I don't say this often. I was the fucking man. I didn't want to leave.
I believe it.
And so Rod, he goes, hey, golf tournaments this weekend. We went on a Monday. Golf tournaments on Saturday.
No.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
Like I should
I
have kept
gotta
my
go to fucking
I should have kept my mouth closed at that fucking.
kept my fucking mouth closed.
Hey, I've been there.
So, anyways, went out. So did his fucking deal, and then, for me, I was just looking at it. I'm like, look, I mean, I've been, went to the finals and lost. 2 years later, the next NHL year, was lucky enough to win, and I'm like, fuck it. Chances are it's probably not going to happen again. So I just said, you know what? If I get invited to a party. If I could do it over again, I would do it slightly differently. If I get invited to a fucking party and it's in North America, I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll work out in the mornings and I'll make it work.
Yeah,
whatever.
sweat it out. I'll
Fuck
find
it.
a sauna
I'll
somewhere.
find something. Yeah. So I did, I think, 12 or 13 cup parties, shit-faced at all of them. If I could do it over again, I would have went to fucking Europe.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck it. But that was the one I'm like, I can't go.
Yeah.
Did you ever jump on a
You're
bird?
looking- you're
Did
still
you ever
looking-
jump on a bird too with the boys with the gloves or what? Like the
Yeah,
guy carrying
actually,
the
yeah,
cup?
Ray's right over the So to go get the cup after when we won. So Ray and I are both Ray Whitney and I are both from Fort Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So we had our cup weekend, if I remember correctly, was like the third weekend in August. So it's getting kind of close to training camp.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so Doug Waite had it the day before on I think it was a Thursday or something like that in St. Louis. So if they were just going to fly in commercial, it was going to take a day and a half to get to Edmonton. So Ray was like, hey, we got to go get this fucking cup. So Ray and I we had 2 days.
Wait
and
for this
then
commercial
I
break.
talked myself into another day. So we ended up having 3 days total. And so I'm like, yeah, Ray. I'm like, let's go. He goes, well, we got to take a plane. I go, well, you're fucking paying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fucking league minimum here. I was one of like the 4 guys that got my salary rolled back after the fucking.
boys,
So I got rolled back after the lockout, but I was below league minimum, so they
oh,
bumped me up 50 grand
God,
or whatever
that
it was.
is insane.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Ray. I'd love to be on a private plane.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
paying.
Exactly.
So we went and got it, and then came back and fucking got after it. It was a good time. It was a good time. I lost my train of thought there.
That's okay.
Yeah,
no,
no,
you're
no,
right.
that's
You're right
not
on it. We can get it back to your train of thought if you want to talk about Babcock.
I want to talk to you before you rip into Bowers, which I don't mind you ripping
hate
into
that
him.
prick.
Let's
He
talk
is a
about
piece of shit.
when did the
I
robe
want to
was
look right at the camera.
Hey.
That guy is a piece of shit.
when the robe came out. Was that Calgary or Carolina when you had
That was Carolina.
Carolina. But let's talk about your run in Calgary because, in my opinion, I wasn't in the league yet. That was the last greatest final. Not that they're all not great, but you guys were the old rules. It was fucking clutching and grabbing.
Iggy
It was
and
cross-checking.
fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Iggy.
was
That was
awesome.
a great
Great
fight.
Fucking
fight.
our boy
Yeah,
Princey's Alberta boy. I mean, I just remember the Red Mile. That must have been an epic run too. I know you guys came out, got fucked a bit, but
Oh, we got
Well, they
fucked
won.
hard.
They fucking
mean,
won. I just brought it up.
I mean,
Martin Jelena scored. The fucking
Where the fuck is my second ring?
his pad was behind
Oh
the
my
line.
God.
It went in. I
It's
saw it.
Yeah. I mean, if they didn't have, for some reason.
Princey's gonna go start crying over here.
I
So
know.
I
Princey,
didn't
Fucking
quite
flip
have
the table
rewind
here.
on my fucking TV.
how much is this shit worth? Fuck it.
The 04 run was it's kind of funny comparing the two, like 04 to 06 and after the new rules
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So like in a nutshell, our 06 team was like, I think the reason why one of the biggest reasons why we won is we were the quickest team to adapt to the new rules. We had a fucking team, I mean, me not included,
Saprikan,
but we had,
Lombardi.
No,
no,
he's talking Carolina.
the Carolina.
Sorry.
Yeah, you
No,
had
no,
like
it's fine.
Willie. You had like Willie.
We had our fucking forwards are unbelievable.
Cole.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we could score.
Yeah.
And then 2 years earlier with the old rules, that was the toughest team I had ever been on. I mean, we got Chris Simon.
I know.
I mean, that guy is
Was
the
fucking-
scariest.
He came up to me one night.
Oh
I think
my
he was.
God.
I
That
don't know
guy
if he was in
scares the
Calgary or
living fuck
Long
out of me.
Island. And he went, "You think you're tough, kid?"
Oh,
and I'm like,
boy.
"Hey,
I
I'm
would
just."
shit my
I go,
drawers.
"I'm just trying to stay in the league.
Yeah.
Like,
Him and Berard,
I
yeah.
don't think I'm tough. I just want to stay with all the hot girls are."
Yeah.
So don't beat me up.
Oh,
he
my
was
God.
fucking
He was
scary.
a fucking killer.
Him and Berard played in Russia together. He
Yeah.
said it was beyond bonkers.
Oh,
These
it
guys
would've
were
been-
hitting Russia hard.
Oh, it would have been run. And then I think they were on that team with the fucking mobster that was, or the mafia
Yeah.
that ran the team.
Yeah, yeah.
Sticking the cash in the
bashes,
pads.
or
And,
what was it called? The base. no, what is it called when it'll come to me. Those rich dudes.
Yeah,
have
Trevor
those
Gillies
places
played
out.
there. Trevor Gillies
Yeah,
played for that
there's
same team.
another fucking animal.
Yeah, he's
That
a fuck.
fucking
I
guy.
love that guy. He's a fucking meat stick. I love him to death, though.
Oh, he is fucking intense.
He's a killer, man.
But to the difference
sorry, we're
in
getting
the
off
two,
topic.
no, it's totally fine. The 04 team, I mean, we had, to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't say we were. Well, the rules were different.
Yeah, they were great. Weren't they great?
We had a fucking tough team. Yeah, it was nice.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you didn't have to skate. Just
I
fucking
know,
here you
I
go.
know. I was like,
just
this
fucking
NHL's great.
John, here you go. But we had a tough team. I mean, with Simon and Olawa, but also Jerome.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we had
tough.
two players on that. I mean, there was a bunch of good players, but I mean, we basically had a fucking goalie that was unreal.
Yeah.
And we had Jerome. I mean, Jerome was fucking scoring at will, basically.
Yeah. He was a
fighting.
beast.
I mean, he was a fucking killer. And yeah, we should have fucking won.
And it's tough because I play with Marty St. Louis, Vinny, and Richie, and Boiler,
I
and
know.
Tampa. I love those guys.
I know,
So
I do too.
I know, yeah, but I mean, when
think
you
that's
looked
why-
at it quick,
I mean,
that's why they're not building
the
a new-
argument can be
it
made.
can be made.
It can
and
be
it's
made.
funny. I just watched the tuck rule. Maybe we're onto something here because they did the tuck rule with Woodson and Brady last week.
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do something about this goal with Commie.
Seriously.
Maybe we get Vinny to come in and get the boys to
Seriously.
talk about it. Maybe we could do something.
think
like
My
that.
last year in the NHL, I got traded from fucking Babcock in fucking Detroit, which was a total fucking disaster again for the second time. And I got traded to Tampa. I walk into the dressing
Oh,
room.
you did.
and-
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it's very forgettable.
Yeah, no,
It's very forgettable. I fucking
whole
walk in
career
there,
is-
and all I see is pictures all over the wall about
yeah.
that run. And I'm like, I don't know these guys, so I bite my tongue, right?
yeah.
And then, I mean, it was actually, that was probably, I tell you what, some of my best buddies are still from those 10 fucking games I played there. I loved it there.
They're
I had
great,
so
man.
much fun.
Well, you like sunshine and golf and women.
yeah.
So,
And I'll tell you what, Commie, you know
I'm
what?
like, how the fuck
I
did
know.
these guys
I
even play
know.
hockey here?
You ever play? Remember Chris Gratton?
Oh, yeah.
Gratz was one of my
Yeah.
best veteran guys
Play with
ever.
him in Columbus.
Yeah, we'd play 9 holes every now and then. The
Yeah.
one year we were out of the playoffs, Gratz like, I'll play 9 before the game. But Vinny and Richie and Boiler, like I walked in there, I got traded my rookie year, 2 years after, you guys went to the finals against them. And I'm walking that dressing room as a rookie that doesn't know anyone, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm shitting my pants.
Yeah.
And they were such great guys to me in the way they embraced me and let me, because 2 years ago I watched them fucking win the Stanley Cup. I was like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, this is crazy.
They had a good team. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about
No,
it.
they-
It was a good final. There's no doubt about
It was
it.
the best final.
It was good.
So you're the perfect guy to ask. Sorry, Ups.
Yep.
I never got the second round, but I often wanted to get into the finals. As a guy that likes to have a good time and losing, what's it like? Like, not to relive it here, but do you just
Losing?
just drink your sorrows away? Yeah, losing in the finals, I can't imagine. I know you won one, so maybe you're the guy to ask
Yeah.
because it doesn't hurt as much. But it's got to be like, fuck, all that way for, or
You
you,
know
just
what?
embrace it after.
Well, look at Montreal
You know-
this year. They're just fucking dirt.
Oh, fuck it.
They're
it's
still
trash.
in a funk.
I went to my first game since COVID hit. First game was St. Louis came in to play Calgary. This is like 2 weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago, yeah,
Couple weeks
yeah.
ago.
Yep.
I mean, it was fucking embarrassing. It was fucking embarrassing.
Especially
I got
from a guy that-
and it's not the ushers' fault. They're just doing their job. I get that. I got somebody yelling at me to fucking keep my mask up. If you're thirsty, you better go wrap your fucking lips around the tap and the shit.
I know. Princey told me you couldn't have a beer at the game.
Beer.
I said,
Can't get a fucking water.
I said,
They got
you
no
can't get
cups.
a beer at a fucking Flames game. Come on here. Let's go now. That's
Half filled. I mean, it was
Half-filled
I
cups.
sat there and I grinded it out till
Toilet
halfway
water.
through. It was in 7-1, and Justin Falk or whatever
I
said
know.
something before and get ripped. I was fucking pissed. I'm like, these guys are ripping me. I don't want to come to Canada. He's fucking
Listen,
right.
I played
wouldn't
golf.
want to either. It's a
I played
fucking
golf
joke.
with Falker, Bertuzzo, a bunch of the boys 2 days before that. They were in Seattle.
Bortuzzo had a tough game. Oh my
Well, they
God.
went from
He's a
all-
great
listen,
dude.
Hell, we've
Great
all been
dude.
there.
Hey,
Oh,
he's a
boy,
modern-
this was bad.
He's a modern day Mike Commodore, Bobbo. He's a great team guy. I'm telling you, one of the best, and he's getting
I've hung
paid
out with
for
him.
it.
Yeah,
he's a
100%.
fucking great guy. So anyway,
I think it's great.
We have a night in St. Louis and we have some fun, and they kick the shit out of the Seattle Kraken, and then they go into Van and they win again. Then they go to Calgary and it's stinkfest.
Yeah.
But what
Well, they
Falk,
couldn't wait to get the fuck
listen,
out of
what
there.
Falker
No.
said was something he brought up to me too, and I'm like, of course, like you know what, and good on him for actually speaking his mind.
100%.
Good on him for speaking his
Yeah.
mind.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it touches on a little bit earlier. I'm trying something with as far as relationships. 'Cause I'm 42 years old, and hey, fuck, I'm trying hard.
Hey, if you need some
I'm
relationship,
trying hard.
listen,
do,
if
I mean, that's all I could do.
Hey, Coach, don't watch
if you
the
need
video.
if you need some relationship advice, text me. I'll help you out with
Okay,
it.
sure, yeah, I can't wait. You're first on my
Yeah,
list.
be like, Holmes, I got
hey,
some-
hey, what do you think of this? Oh,
She said this to me. Always, what do you think about that? I'm like, fuck that comment. You don't need that shit.
Tell her to go fuck herself.
Are you looking forward to any of the music acts this week here at the Waste Management Open?
You know what? Being completely honest,
You don't even know?
I don't know.
So Diplo's playing tonight. DJ. He's okay, but you
Heard
got to
of
be
him.
pretty banged up to see that.
Can I be totally honest with
Yeah.
you? I'm not nothing against it.
Yeah.
I've heard of Diplo.
Yeah, I know.
I have no fucking clue. I am more of a. I'll tell you what. If AC/DC was here,
Yeah,
totally.
I would fucking know
How about
that.
Sam
When
Hunt?
Kin-
You know Sam Hunt?
I know the
He's
name.
a country guy. He's playing here tomorrow night.
Okay, I
Yeah,
like
so
that.
Sam
I like
Hunt's
country
playing
music
here,
too.
tomorrow night.
What
Kid
about
Rock was here.
Pearl Jam? Commie, like Pearl Jam?
Love Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
That's more my.
Yeah.
Last
We
time
saw-
I went to a concert here was Kid Rock, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Fuck, we used to get
Fuck,
banged
did I
out.
have a
You know
good
what,
time.
Commie? We got to keep Commie in the loop. So there's this thing called the Ohana Fest. It's just south of us in California.
Okay.
Eddie puts it on. We
Okay.
saw Pearl Jam back-to-back nights. It's in September, right on the beach. He
Back
puts
to
it
Oh,
on.
I
So-
love
back-to-back
Yeah,
nights.
man.
It was
Yeah, I'd love
back-to-back
to
nights
come.
and then back-to-back weekends.
Yeah, that's
I
right,
had
back-to-back.
five.
I gotta get. I'm actually. Can I
I
go
had
ahead?
5 nights of Eddie Vedder in fucking 10 days.
Yeah,
is
that's
what I
right.
had. It was
Well, can I
nuts.
bitch a little bit to you guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard about you guys and your
Yeah.
crew in Newport Beach, and I've never fucking got an invitation.
Oh,
Well,
there's-
listen, I'm putting that
Hey,
on
can
up here.
we-
Hey, I'm
It's
putting
on
that
me.
because
It is actually
it's
more
on
his
that
fault.
because
Yeah.
I've never even met. This is the most
That's
time I've
true.
ever spent with you.
Yes,
Like even
yes.
when I saw you at the W, and we were both a couple years
In
ago. We were
one.
both in one. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to go up to Commie right now. He's gonna.
You should have. I
No,
wish you
I
would
know,
have,
I
but I
know.
get
But you know
it.
what I'm
I
saying?
get
Like
it.
I've
Yeah.
never. This is the
I was
most.
fucking
Now that I
cross-eyed.
got your number,
Yeah.
you'll be
Oh,
here. You'll
boy.
be here to laugh for me, buddy. You'll
I'll
laugh
be
for me.
fucking
Yeah.
coming straight to
You're
California.
you're an incredible friend of the pod, though. I got to
Yeah.
tell you, we'd love to have you on.
Hey, I comment on some posts.
Of course,
I get
of
in the
course.
mix.
A friend
Yeah.
of the pod is a
Yeah.
is a friend
Hey,
of
Thanks a
ours.
lot for having
And
me.
a
I
great, hey,
appreciate
listen,
it.
and a great career, brother. Listen, you inspired a guy like me when I watched you win your cup and go to the finals and play hard and physical. And I never wanted to fight you, so thanks for not fighting me either. I appreciate
Well,
that.
that's weird
but
because I didn't want to fight you either.
I just
You
wanted
know
to
what?
get-
Can
I
I
just
can
wanted
I
to get
say
through the
one thing?
game, yeah.
You get, in my opinion, you get fucking shortchanged. I remember playing against you. I'm like, man, this fucking, and I don't want to kiss your ass
No,
too hard
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
but I'll tell you what. Remember playing against you at Tampa all over the fucking place, and I'm like, this fucking Shane O'Brien, he's tough. He can handle the fucking puck.
Throws backhand
You-
sauce
You
like
do
no
not
one's
get, in my opinion,
Thank you, Commie. That means a
do
lot.
not get nearly enough. I remember it to this day. I'm like, man, this guy's fucking good. He can fucking play. So
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
I
in
appreciate
person.
that. You're like,
No,
you're
no,
I
like,
mean
you're like,
it
you're
too.
like. I know you do. You're
I
like,
mean it too.
you're like, if you could just mix in a salad, he would have been all right. if
fucking
you could have just laid off the fucking meat sauce.
Hey, fuck that.
I appreciate that, Commie. Thank you very
No,
from
you
one
were a good player.
from one demon to
You
another
were
means a
very
lot to
good
me.
player.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. And there's no bullshit.
Commie,
I mean,
I
up
love
he
you
was
too,
a fucking
yeah.
good. I don't have to kiss
Yeah,
no,
I know.
He
He's-
flies around.
He flies
and-
around.
hey,
High
I got
stick
more
and
respect.
everything.
Yeah.
I took a
Thank you.
page out of his book, like I said, just admiring the fucking drifter in him. The fucking let's not stay in one place for too long. That's trouble.
Yeah.
So
Trouble.
let's get out there and see the world. Let's
Yeah.
enjoy ourselves.
Hey.
Let's build good relationships.
Yeah.
Every guy you've
Last
ever
time I
played
checked,
with, by
we
the
get
way.
fucking one lap of this fucking earth.
It's not a pride,
Might as well
yeah.
make them fucking most
And
of it.
Commie, one thing I take pride in, and Obi as well, because we left the game and we have great friendships, is like you leave the game and you have these fucking great relationships with the guys that you played with.
Of course.
And that's all you can ask for when you leave a sport. It's
That's
like
it.
you want to be known as that fucking guy that battled with your team. He was a great guy. He set up all the fucking nights out that the guys fucking can't even talk about.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? And that was one thing
Let's
that
get through a
if you talk to
podcast.
a guy that played with you, it's the first thing they bring up is
Yeah.
like, fuck, we battled and he is the best guy to be around. And that's the ultimate compliment.
It is.
in our game.
100%.
the
At the end of the
ultimate
day, 7 years, or I guess 8, it's coming up on 8, being out of it. For me personally, and I had a fucking blast doing it, and it was the greatest thing in the world while it lasted.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I would say anytime my phone buzzes and it's somebody that I used to play with and the relationship that I maintain, the Tampa guys, which I was fucking barely there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I touched the puck in those 10 games. They're doing that fucking bullshit trap that Boucher.
old
I'm
one
like, this is
through-
the dumbest fucking
Did you
thing.
guys start that fucking
But-
thing?
Oh, my God.
You guys
Dude,
wouldn't,
he had
guys,
me,
you wouldn't go in the zone.
wouldn't go in the zone. I
Oh,
wasn't
my God,
there
I
when it
remember
started.
that. I
He put me
remember
right
that.
in front of the net. I can't skate. I'm the worst skater on the ice.
I remember
He puts
that
me
fucking
in front of
thing.
the fucking goalie. Everybody's coming down. I'm flat-footed. I'm like, okay.
Thanks,
so
yeah.
ribbon, I ain't getting there.
Operation
Like,
Human Shield.
Yeah.
You just stay there.
Is there any worse feeling as a D-man when you're flat-footed?
Oh, my God.
Any position in the NHL when you're flat-footed,
When you're
like, I'm fucked.
And you know you can't
I
catch
had
up.
this defense partner call me, Cody Franson, great guy.
Sure.
Great little wrister. I get traded in Nashville. I'm like, listen, just go D to D. Do not keep shooting up the wall, and it hits a skate, and now I'm flat-footed. It took him a couple months to finally realize, I'm going to fight you in practice if you keep doing it.
If you fucking keep hanging me out to dry
If you
here,
put me in
I'm
foot
telling you
races,
what I
I'm
want.
going to fucking kill you.
Yeah,
it's
the worst feeling in the fucking
man.
world.
Guys like this
It's
guy
like, oh,
buzzing, you're
God.
like, oh, God.
Strong side post, strong side
Yeah. Stick on puck, stick on puck. Commie, I could do this all day with you. We don't want to keep you, but let's get you back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that I got
Yeah,
your
it's
number,
very
we're going
nice
to
to
tee
meet
it
you
up,
in
buddy.
person.
You're a legend.
Yeah.
It's
always good to see you.
Fucking
Thank you,
thanks
buddy.
a lot, buddy.
We
You
appreciate
betcha.
you
Thank
coming
you
by,
very
man.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime, fellas. I appreciate it.
Up, dog. We did it, fella. We did it again.
The Pro-Am is a wrap.
Pro-Am is a wrap.
Pro-Am. I
Yeah.
felt like a professional today.
Yeah.
Out of the Pro and the Am, I felt like I was the Pro. And you too.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah, I felt like we're getting the hang of this thing here, right?
I beat half the golfers here this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Early birds. We were early birds.
You were the first one on the course, I think.
I want to say thank you. Just a quick moment to thank the Thunderbirds.
Yes.
My boy Dodge Earnhardt, Shane Thompson, Darcy Hordichuk, who showed us around this morning and who ended up coming on. Fantastic guy. Our boy Blake, who picked us up in the parking lot.
Beauty.
The Thunderbirds, what an incredible event. All for a great cause, great kids. This tournament, Obi, is something spectacular.
Yeah, it's just getting humming, too.
And it's just getting humming.
It's just getting started.
Yes, it is.
To DraftKings, thank you for having us at the Sportsbook here. This was unbelievable. Hall Pass Media, Maxi, A-Hall, Princey, and then we had some incredible guys on, right? Keegan Bradley, Steele, Hordichuk, Max Homa, who was tired from a long day.
He was
getting
fighting
ready.
traffic, yeah.
And then the main attraction, Mike Commodore, a guy we're dying to talk to. So thank you to those guys. It was a great day, Uppy, sitting here in the shade, which was nice.
It was a
awesome.
great day. No,
Yeah.
You know what? I think this is it's an exciting start to an incredible weekend. We got Waste Management Open. We're here in beautiful Scottsdale. We have the Super Bowl coming up. DraftKings doing some big things for that. This is a moment, second stop on the Fella Tour for you and I, big fella.
Yeah.
A chance to really bring fans into the life of not just our podcast and what we love and what we think about, and what we say and what we do, but just about life in general. Look at this place. This place is beautiful. There's a lot of people out here sharing great moments.
It is beautiful, huh?
That inside 16 stadium, and you and I, we buzzed around there for a little bit today. The tunes are pumping, the drinks are flowing. I mean, it's an incredible moment. I think the Pheonix Coyotes ought to, in the NHL, ought to figure out a way to get an ice rink built inside that stadium to do a little, golf classic / ice hockey game.
Just play your home games at the 16th.
Just play them in there. There's more fans that'll show up in there. There's a hockey game here. But
it was bumping in there, Ups. I mean, you went in twice. I went in once with Hordy, and then you and A-Hall went back in, and I just decided to come back and hang out in the shade with the boys. But it was rocking in the day. Tomorrow will be fun to bet on some golf stuff through DraftKings. Like every shot you can bet on there, and then who's going to play. And, it was great. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for tonight. You're excited for tonight.
I cannot wait for tonight.
If I keep drinking these pineapple mango things here, eventually I got to get drunk, don't I? Then I'll be
I
ready to
think
rock.
so, yeah. It's a little bit about hydrating at the same time as getting that little buzz,
Yeah.
So, but just let's again, a huge thank you to the Thunderbirds, huge thank you to the Waste Management Open, DraftKings. This incredible, they basically built a sports book, which is the beginning of what can be a casino on this golf course at
amazing.
some point. So,
Hall Pass Media, again, 6 setup for the boys.
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to stay out of trouble tonight, find a little bit of it.
I want to watch Dan.
I don't want to see you go to bed too early.
No, not too early, not too early. But I want to watch Dan the Steelers second round, and we got the big guy coming in tomorrow. I want to have a little something left in the tank.
I don't think I have an off switch for this weekend.
No, you've been buzzing. So, Uppy, thank you again, everyone. That was awesome. I mean, we did it. We got in the can.
Of course.
What'd you call it? Golden hour here. We got the golden hour.
The golden hour is upon us, my friend. And if the sun was shining on us right now, we would be looking sharp.
I know,
we'd look like we actually have a tan because we don't. We've been stuck in these ice rinks over the.
I'll tell you who had a tan.
winter.
Max Homa had a tan going.
Max Homa's got everything going.
He's a good guy.
Guy's got some style. He's good. Our golfers have everything going. Keegan Bradley is an absolute beauty.
It's so good to see him. I met him when he was struggling. I'll tell you what. I followed him around the Canadian Open, where he was making bogey, double, bogey, and I stopped watching because you're like, holy shit. And then, hanging out with him in Newport when he was and now to see how much success he's having hard work pays off. You know that. We know
Yeah,
that.
no, he actually told a story of enjoy the battle back to where your game has been, and that's the challenge that Ernie Els actually talked to him. And his funny joke, which the fans will hear, Ernie fell from 1st to 7th place in the world.
Yeah.
So enjoy that battle back.
Yeah, that was Keegan. He's like, that was a real fall there, eh, Ernie?
Oh, you're talking about Steele?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I was talking about Max Homa.
All right, we're a little off, so it's time to go have a few pints. We'll see everyone in the Bird's Nest.
Diplo, here we come.
Let's go.
Missin Curfew.